Alright, it's me, Burrito. We're back. We're back in the Etyyy hunting grounds. Hopefully I won't have to do too much back and forth today. But I think we're almost done here, because we only have the Moufs and then the Shadow Weavers. Right? Unless they send me back for more Walugas. Which, I don't know, they might. We'll see. And then we still gotta get, I think it's a leg or a silk pouch or something. But we gotta go up here to the Moufs. Alright. So I think today what we'll do is we'll finish the Etyyy hunting grounds, and I think I've decided that we're going to go into the Rryatt hunting grounds next. Things are going to be a little bit out of order if you're going to be doing this as a leveling experience, because before we finish Etyyy, I'm going to do the Hracca Glade. And the Hracca Glade is something that you definitely need to come back to Etyyy for. If you're doing Etyyy at level, which again is like mid-40s to mid-50s is about the intended level range. There's definitely no way you're reaching level like 80, 85 before you leave if you're only in this area. So it's something you definitely need to come back to. And then when we go to the Rryatt Trail, I'm just going to do the whole trail. The Rryatt Trails is a place that you'll probably return to multiple times if you're trying to do it at level, because the first floor is level 50. Second floor is like level 60-ish. Like 55 to 60. Third floor is like 60 to 70-ish. And then fourth floor is like 75 to 80, and the last floor is like 80 to 85 or something. So, again, if you're doing Kashyyyka's level experience, keep that in mind. You're not going to always stay in one place for... You're usually not going to be able to complete one place all in one go. You're usually going to need to be going out, doing it, going to another zone, coming back to that other zone later. Like, if you didn't have a friend to call on to help you face Rratu in the Dead Forest like we did last time, that's definitely a point where you need to, come back later. As, Rratu's not too bad, but 6 level 60 Shadow Weaver, or Webweavers, that kind of hurts. Looks like some of these are stuck in the... Man, the baby's stuck in the tree. Can you even see it? No. What a shame. No one's ever going to tame that baby. We're going to avoid killing the named NPCs here, just in case of the we've run into another player in this area. I don't want to take that from them. Because like we saw last time, there was actually more people in here than I thought. Granted, again, as I've stated previously, that's mostly probably people getting keyed for Avatar platform, but there is some people who are doing Sordan's bets, which we will finish those today. So there's some people doing quests here for one reason or another. Maybe they just wanted the rewards. As we've seen some of them, but not all of the weapons you can get from Sordan's bets yet. We haven't seen... Yeah, we haven't seen my favorites. I was trying to think what my favorite reward weapons are. And the Tachi pistol is, like, ironically a favorite because it's, like, one of the smallest pistols you can get in the game. Like, it even looks small in the hands of the Bothan. But it'll look really small, like, in the hands of a Wookiee or a Trandoshan running pistols. But my favorite weapons, unironically, I think are the last couple of bets. Because we have not gotten them yet. Which, if you haven't noticed the trend, every time we finish hunting in a major area, he gives us a new bet. And then the bet is usually themed around the creatures we hunted. No, there's not a bet for slaying Chiss poachers. That would have been a funny one, though. I was like, I'll just start clearing out all these ISOs. I don't turn auto-loot off in here because the creature junk parts that drop are actually worth a pretty good amount of money to the number you have. As you notice, my cash in my pocket's over $1 million now, and when we started yesterday, I think I had like 700 or 800K. So most of that's just from selling junk loot. As the quest reward payouts, being older designed quests, are pretty terrible. We've been getting like 5,000 credits tops. So most of the money we've been making is just from loot. Which we are out here slaying Moufs as a reminder for Trip Rar, one of the Rodian hunters at Sordan's camp. And we have to get pristine hides, which is taking a little bit of time, as it's only a chance, unfortunately. These don't even count. Collect 14 pristine moth pouch of vibrant moths for those. Okay. So all these other Moufs slaying aren't counted. I just noticed, like, I was getting progress chances on some of these, but not all of them. So I was just like, why? Let me reread. What do I need to slay? Oh, Vibrant Moufs. There's one up there, but I'm not gonna... Because I think if I hit it, I'm gonna piss off Bright Claw. Okay, we need one more pelt. Cool. Back with Trip, though. These are wonderful moth pelts. Good job. Ready for your next hunting goal? Yes, what's next? You probably noticed some vicious moths in the same general area as the vibrant moths. Many vicious ones have flawless incisors, which fetch a really nice price back on my home planet. I need you to collect 18 flawless muff incisors from vicious moths. You know, out of all the Rhodians we've met so far, Trip is the most straightforward and polite. And, according to the security chief, probably the best hunter in the camp. Maybe she just has a lot more raw confidence than everybody else. Alright, we're here to slay vicious moths, though. There was one. One lonely little moth. Poor guy. Where are the others? So much out there to play. You don't blame anyone for skipping games. Yeah, me neither. That or, like... You know, I used to be somebody that when I picked up a game that I needed to finish it. Like, I wasn't allowed to. I didn't let myself play anything else until I finished it. But at this point, there's so many games, and I own so many games that I haven't played, that if I start playing something and it's just not clicking with me, I don't feel as guilty dumping it as I used to. Because I'm just like, man, I have... Compared to the number, like, the hours of media in existence, I have such little time on this planet, and I shouldn't waste it playing stuff that's not fun. Let's see. Okay, we finished slaying all of the vicious moths. We gotta go back to Trip. Place your bets now. I think we're gonna have to come out here and fight moth warlords, or maybe not. Feel like we're supposed to. This is a good time to remind everybody again. When you're on Kashyyyk in your quest, you're going to be getting a lot of Icemerez enzymes from the creatures. Don't keep any of them. Unless they're like... The general rule of thumb is 89.33% or higher for overall quality. But you could keep 88% and up if you really wanted to. But if you just want to sell those Icemerez enzymes, just get rid of all of them. No one's going to buy anything below like that 89% threshold. Or at least not for any amount worth clogging up your inventory for. They're, for those who don't know what they're used for the incubation process of beast mastery to create pets like this flying mount that I have, or pets for combat like my medic has. My medic has, oh boy, I think like 7 pets that I've leveled to 90 and used for different combat situations, which 7's a low number compared to some players. Some players have maxed out their data pads on multiple characters, which I think you could increase pet storage up to like 30 or 40 per character. So nothing to scoff at. I mean, if you include all media in existence, not just books and films, but like, or not just like games and films, but just like YouTube alone, I can't watch everything on YouTube. I gotta be more choosy about what I watch. I can't just keep rewatching Breaking Bad clips, which is hilarious that I keep getting recommended these because I've never watched the show and I don't care. Or just like anime fight scenes that I've already seen a million times. I gotta be more choosy with my media or else I'm gonna die before I watch anything worth it. All right, we're with Trip though. You're becoming quite the hunter. These incisors are exactly as flawless as I'd hoped they would be. Well done. Go speak with Sordan yet again. He has taken a strong interest in your success here, so I guess he wants to tempt you again with another wager. I'll go speak with Sordan. Okay, never mind. I guess we're done with the moths. I believe the moth warlords are what we hunt on the bet, though, which we're gonna wait to do the bet until we get a couple more stacked up. So here was with Sordan, so you want to speak with me? Who's saying this time? Trip. Trip sent you very well. She probably had you hunting moths, didn't she? I'll admit those creatures are fairly tough prey. You've come further than I'd ever thought possible. Talk to me later about another wager. I've got something good in mind. Oh, and for more hunting, speak with Zivin. He's been hunting Webweavers lately. I'd imagine he'll ask you to do the same. I'll go speak with Zivin. We'll wait to do the wagers. All right, back with Zivin, who once sent us off to go speak with somebody else about hunting Ulers. Now we're back to him. He says, "You've come back to me quite the accomplished hunter, and I hope you continue your growth. Are you ready for your next hunt?" "Yes, absolutely." "Your prey will be the feared Webweavers spiders. Most of these creatures never leave the deepest murky depths of the darkest of Kashyyyk's forest. But as it happens, Etyyy is home to some Webweavers that dwell away from those fearsome shadows. You shall next hunt and gather 38 untainted Webweaver fangs. You're gonna have me kill almost 40 spiders, bro. Any Webweaver in Etyyy, the Etyyy region will do for this hunt, and I wish you good hunting." So it's always funny they say any creature in this region counts when it's like, yeah, I mean, technically any creature in this region is here, but all the Webweavers are down here in the southeast corner. I hope that the fangs are guaranteed drops, because if they're a chance drop and I need 40 of them, we're going to be hanging out here in this densely jungled area for a while. I think if I would have to pick my favorite area of Etyyy, I actually like the Waluga area because it does feel different. You get the destroyed village on the way down there too. There's some like environmental storytelling going on there, which I appreciate. I think my least favorite area though is probably honestly the Mouf area. They were talking about in terms of set dressing. I feel the Mouf area is very plain. It's just because Moufs are like live in the hills and whatever, so it's a very hilly, watery area. So that's the point. But I don't know. I mean, if we're taking the wildlife into account, then yes, the Webweaver area would be my least favorite because I'm not really a #1 fan of big spiders. So that's a little unfair, which is why I was excluding the local fauna. All right, these guys are level 49 though, so yeah, definitely getting tougher here. But nothing we can't handle. Wait, you crazed? Okay, unfortunately this is a chance drop and not guaranteed, so we're gonna be squashing a lot of spiders. Like a lot. So, welcome everybody to the spider portion of the stream. Well, that's not true. When we get into the Rryatt, there will be more spiders, so part 1 of the spider portion. I told you all, when we are on Talus killing all those spiders, that's not the last of the spiders we're going to see. We're definitely going to see a lot more in Kashyyyk, which, you know, if you think of other Star Wars media, Kashyyyk's usually pretty full of spiders. I don't know why I sprint stemmed there, but honestly, I don't really regret it. I didn't realize there's nothing back there but those little critters. I don't know why there's nothing back there but those guys. I will say that when I was a kid and my arachnophobia was worse, I was not really pumped about fighting these guys, but they're not my least favorite spider model in the game. My least favorite spider model is the Gaping Weaver spiders. The Gaping spiders on Dathomir, that model. Something about their big gross backs and like the color of their bodies just grosses me out in their eyes. I mean, these guys are definitely really gross. I'd probably say these guys take number 2. With the least scary, in my opinion, being the anglers. Wow, spider babies. Die. Baby or not, you're getting slaughtered. Oh, yes, and so you can see this is a river trail down here. I can even zoom in. All the spiders spawn on the south end, pretty much, except for this little patch up here where Silk Thrower is, so don't worry about checking the north side of the river. It's just a hill. And yes, they do tend to spawn stuck in trees all the time. It wouldn't be the Etyyy hunting grounds if, like, a handful of the spawns weren't getting stuck in trees. That whole squad stuck in a tree, so I'm just gonna ignore them. That's unfortunate. That's 4 spiders. We need 18 more fangs, though. You know something interesting that I never really thought of? So spiders typically have more than 1 fang, and based on these models, they have more than 1 fang. It's kind of weird you can't find more than 1 fang on a spider here. But, you know, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It would be cool if you could find at least, like, up to 2 on a single one. I don't know if the quest system's built for that, though. Alright, so let's take out Silk Thrower to see if we can't get whatever body part we need from them. Okay, we're still missing a 12, and we did get Silk Thrower's Fang. So that will be all of the boss critters, I believe. Do we have to show over to Zivin? Yeah, well, that's convenient. All right, well, at least we got lucky on that. But now we have to wait for the spiders to cycle back in before I can get any more fangs. I believe I slew the ones up here first. I try and kill the spawns in the order that I defeated them. That way I have an idea of like which ones are spawning in next. It helps me like go, oh yeah, okay, so those are back, then the other one should be back soonish, that kind of thing. Oh, that's why. I'm like, I forgot to run my officer buffs. And for the attentive viewer, you may have noticed you didn't hear any noises. I finally went out of my way and installed the mod that patches those files to delete their sounds, so focus, fire, and tactics don't make a noise anymore, because I was just tired of the screeching of that ability. After years of just leaving it alone, I finally met my match and said, nope, we're done with this. I didn't mean to summon the probe bot. I don't really need the probe bot's help right now. If anyone ever wants to install that mod yourself, it is in... If you go to the Game Mods channel of the Legends Discord and like just search like Control F officer buff, you'll find a post where someone posted a zip file. That zip file also, though, mutes the smuggler off the cuff noise, which I went into the zip file and omitted that one. It also mutes charge and scatter, and I omitted those as well. It might also mute SFP. I want to hear those noises because I want to know when an officer is using those abilities, and more importantly, when I'm playing my smuggler, I want to hear when off-the-cuff procs, and even more importantly, when I'm fighting a smuggler, I want to hear when they're off-the-cuff procs. Because if off-the-cuff procs, then I know, oh, they have another guaranteed crit in their pocket. So muting that and me missing on the buff bar would be pretty annoying. So I get why some people might want them off. Like if you don't PvP, then it doesn't really matter to you. Or if, say, you don't even play smuggler and you don't PvP, but I feel like removing those audio sounds is just removing too much information. All right, but with that, we finally got our 38 fangs after slaying a number of Webweavers, which I do not wish to count. None of this junk loot we'll be looting from here will have a stat worth keeping, which is usually 23 or higher. You could also maybe keep 22. But people usually want to buy statted clothing of 23 or higher in a single stat, or if the clothing has 3 or more stats on it. We're back with Zivin, by the way. The things I've heard about your hunting skills have been proven to be accurate. But are you ready for much more challenging prey? Yes, I am. Wait, hold on. I want to show him the fang first. It is Silk Thrower's Fang. Not many hunters could have defeated that Webweaver. I've also heard that you successfully hunted Bright Claw, Pale Claw, Stone Leg, Spike Top, and Great Climber, all impressive beasts, and are all laid low by your hand. You're a true hunter. Even Sir Dan will have to acknowledge you with this type of evidence. Go speak with him. I'll go speak with him, but give me the more challenging prey, and now we have to go collect Immaculate Webweaver Eyes. Only 2. And I say unfortunately because I don't know what the odds on looting one is, and also I gotta go all the way back only for 2 eyeballs when a single spider has much more than 2 usually. But here's Sir Dan. So if you speak with Sir Dan after turning in all the boss parts, you can tell Sir Dan about the fascinating creatures you've hunted. He'll go, that's quite the list of creatures you've hunted, and you'll get a badge And we'll also get the trophy, which is this cool looking thing. It's a nice piece of furniture. But he says, that's quite a list of creatures you've hunted. I know many of them. Brightclaw, the Mouf, and Stoneleg, the Waluga in particular. Those two have caused a few of my hunters to need medical attention. I am not as familiar with Grey Climber, but he must be as fierce as the rest. In recognition of your hunting skills, I award you with this trophy for hunting excellence in Etyyy. Congratulations. Thank you. All right, let's go get those eyeballs. Oh, wow. You got the OG's collector set. Nice. I have 2 copies of Complete Online Edition. I have the 3-day trial, and then I have the total experience because I was a dumb child and I didn't realize that I could reactivate my auto count rather than just buying a new CD key every time. Oh, I also own it on Steam, so technically I bought the game like 4 times. I don't even remember where I got the trial CD from. I think I got it from like Fred Meyer back when they sold PC games. Oh, now everyone knows how old I am. Back when Fred Meyer had an electronics section. You were like, what did you use to get in Fred Meyer's electronics section? I'm like, PC games and CDs. My favorite CD story of buying them from Fred Meyer is that I bought System of a Down's album Steal This Album, which, for those who don't know, the jewel case is basically a plain jewel case with a disc in it that has Steal This Album written on it. And when I took it up to the cashier, she looked at it for a second, looked at me, and she's like, oh, we're actually selling this. I thought this was like a prank or something. I'm like, lady doesn't know SOED. Webweaver warriors. Oh, I thought I needed to defeat the elite enemies, but these guys are warriors. The elite enemies are spikers. Never mind. Wait, these guys are all stuck in the tree. Alright, so here are the Webweaver warriors. I lied, they're not the elites. I thought we'd finally have a quest that make me kill elites. But, nope. You'll hide in the corner now? No, you don't need to hide in the corner. I know, the general age demographic for this game tends to skew higher. Even though I don't really consider myself young. I know that I end up being one of the younger people I've met, or one of the younger people playing this game that I've met. There's definitely some people I've met who are much younger than me that have played the game, but typically they were introduced to this game by their parents. And that results in, like, you know, someone much younger playing a game that might not even been out when they were born, or they were just a little babu and couldn't even reach the keyboard yet. Yeah, I feel like most people who play, like, Star Wars Galaxies, EverQuest, OG RuneScape, WoW Classic, etc. tend to skew older. Of course, as the player base grows, you'll get a wider range of demographics. But you're the parent that introduced Cyssc. I always enjoy hearing stories of parents sharing their favorite media with their kids. Like my sister's, she shared watching the original Powerpuff Girls with her kids. Or she had her kids also watch the original Super Mario Brothers Super Show that had Captain Lou as Mario. You know, do the Mario. So it's great when, like, which was from her childhood in the 80s. So that's always fun to see. And the kids, they love, you know, Super Mario and whatever. Because, of course, they do. They're, like, 5. So the fact that they're also into watching the original Super Mario Brothers Super Show touches my heart. Because that way I could go, excuse me, princess, from the Zelda animations and they get it. Started with Ultima Online. Yeah, I think if I was a bit older, I probably would have been in Ultima Online. I've only heard stories of it. I was definitely too young for when that busted out and blew up the internet. Most of what I know about it and its influence is retroactive. Actually, exclusively retroactive. I didn't know anyone who played Ultima Online. You were on Rryatt. My first server was Nardoris, but I only ever made one character on Nardoris, and I didn't get very far. So I identify my home server as Flurry, as I made multiple characters on Flurry, spent some good time on Flurry, and that's where, like, me and my friends usually play it on. So the one that was usually a medium population, probably like one of the, probably top 5 of most populated, but not, what is it, Sunrider or Starsider or whatever. The one where all the RPers were. Basically. All right, back with Zivin. Again, you amaze me. These are 2 of the most perfect Webweaver eyes I've yet seen. Good hunting indeed. Starting to ask an audience with you once again. I think perhaps I'll place a side bet with Earhart if you accept one of Sordan's challenges. I have no doubt that you will defeat Sordan's hunters should you choose to do so. I'll go speak with Sordan. Send him in my regards if you would, and then we get the Webweaver hunting trophy. For the arachnophobia people in the audience, I won't zoom in on it. We'll just tuck that away for later. You're all phone and flurry. You play DOC, nice. I wish I played Matrix Online when it was a thing. I've heard a lot of good stories, but just never did. Another SOE game. Here with Sordan, though, he says, so you went, I spoke with Zivin. Good old Zivin snarls. I can't tell you how much I despise that pompous buffoon. He'll get his someday, but enough of that. I think this is the exact same line he fed me earlier. You've proven yourself to be a very good hunter, at least to everyone else. You've yet to completely outdo me and my best hunters. Would you be willing to say putting your hunting skills to test and wager? What about wager? Excellent. You have 3 options. You could do Uller. Well, we already did Ullers and Wookiees, so we are on the Moufs. And we have to kill 18 to 20 minutes. Let's do it. You were on Loka. Starsider when servers merged. Yeah, I know the server merge shifted everybody around as they usually do. I just remember Starsider being like the most populous, which was funny because it was like on the bottom of the server list. It must have just been how the merges shook out. That or the region. I don't remember what region it was. Is there a way to look up your old server, like character name lookups? Not that I'm aware of. Maybe somebody in the community might know where that information's cached, but I don't. Alright, so we gotta defeat a bunch of these dudes, which I think they have a bleed, so I'll drink some berry wine for the lull. But, I'm not too worried about it. These guys are level 48 elites. Just gonna do as we did last time, group them all up. Oh, they actually have a poison. How's PvP? Or is it mainly PvE? I mean, if you're asking how popular PvP is, there's definitely a lot of people who do PvP. Specifically, Thursdays, afternoons, and evenings, because that's when the GCW rolls over. And evenings and the weekends for like US East and West. There are some PvP that happens in the earlier hours if you're European. So, but I wouldn't say you're going to find good PvP every day, but you'll find it a few times of the week. Especially if you join a PvP guild, because then they send out they usually have Discords where they'll send out flares. So it's like, oh, rebels, we need more rebels to rest us or whatever. So you can also find PvE pretty frequently due to some guilds, and it's easier to get in pickup groups for that. Yeah, there's a lot of space PvP relative, but like a big space PvP battle is like if 8 people show up. So a lot of the times I'll show up to like invasions and there's like 3 or 4 people, unless it's like the Friday invasion, which is where everyone shows up. I've killed enough Moth Warlords to win the bet. Yeah, everyone gets lucky. Your winnings, thank you. Then we get another weapon for Haram, or Harum, which we get the Wrist Acid Sword, which is one of my favorite sword skins in the game. It is unique. It's cool because I got these green accents on the handle, and it's got this cool thing going on at the hilt. So that's definitely one of my favorite skins, and I guess the last one's probably my favorite. The sword's my favorite melee one out of these. All right, so we gotta do the next wager, which is Webweavers. You have to kill 18 in 20 minutes again. So let's go. Note that you do need enough credits, by the way, to float these wagers. So he took 25,000 credits from me because it is a bet. So if you lose, you will lose that money to him. So you technically can't do this quest completely broke, which is funny. At least it's funny in my mind. But luckily you defeat so many creatures that if you just visit the junk dealer and dump all that stuff off, you'll probably be fine. Especially since they dropped statted loot, which I wasn't aware was on their loot tables. But here we are, let's defeat more spiders, and these are the Webweaver Spikers, more 48 elites, so it's gonna hit this group. My AoEs are too good for you. Yeah, none of these do bleeds. I didn't need to drink the berry wine. How about trying City of Heroes Homecoming just for nostalgia? I never played City of Heroes, but a couple people, especially on the Legends server, talked to me about it before. So definitely it's still a player base for that. But with that, we are done with Webweavers. Easy bets. Don't bet against me on these. You're going to lose money. The other thing that's nice about PvP on the server is that they added flashpoints, which flashpoints are basically they're technically objective-based game modes that happen in the open world, and they'll pop up and they'll last for 45 minutes, and then they'll go and break for 15. So the usual PvP rotation is people go to the flashpoint, fight there. When flashpoint's down, they either take time to rebuff and or go to Restus, PvP there, and then when the flashpoint's back, they usually move there, rinse, repeat. Battlefields are still a thing, but the queuing system's still kind of broken, and so unless you get a lot of people queuing, like, who know to navigate that jank and all queuing up at the same time, you usually won't get a battlefield. So if you really want to do battlefields, you need to join up with a guild that, or a group of players that attempt to organize them. But we're back with Sordan after I kind of cleared out a few things there. Suppose you're here to settle our wager. The taste of losing is bitter, so let's finish this and be done. Here's the Webweaver Spikers. Another win. I suppose I can't really call it luck any longer. Take your winnings. You've earned them all. And go speak with Harum in the next tent. I'll let him know to give you a Phalan Hyper Rifle from my collection. Furthermore, as an acknowledgement of your skill at hunting, I would also like to reward you with this Rhodium Hunter's Medallion. Wear it proudly. Thank you. I don't think we can do any more bets. So we got the Phalan Hyper Rifle. Harum says he must be quite impressed with your hunting skills. I'm sure he won't admit it. Yep, that's all the bets. So we're done with Sordan's bets. And for those of you who didn't see it before, this is the Phalan Hyper Rifle. This is definitely one of my favorites from this collection. This and the wrist sword. Unique weapon skins. Very fun. You can get this weapon skin from Avatar Hard Mode under a different name called Covert Retaliation. So this isn't the only source of the skin, but we're almost done with Etyyy. We just got to go to the Hracca Glade. Also, here's the Rhodium medal. It automatically biolinks and doesn't have any stats. There's what it looks like. It's a neat piece of bling, I guess, but a lot of jewelry doesn't really make itself obvious when being worn, depending on what you're wearing, so unless you're wearing something that lets the necklace show off, it doesn't really mean too much. This guy never said anything to us. Alright, so we're here at the Hracca Glade gate. So, as a reminder, Johnson Smith, aka Brody Johnson, has access to, as a favor to his contacts, being clearly the Chiss poachers, go hunt the Kirkawort to make Sordan feel like a dumbass. So the gate quest here is only level 45, but you'll soon see it advances from that as we talk to Kent. He says, this is the gate into the Hracca Glade. No one is allowed entrance without Sordan's permissions, and he gives permissions to no one. I think you have to say Johnson Smith sent me to hunt the Kirkawort. Johnson Smith sent you? That's right. Where were the two of you when you spoke with him? The Hracca Compound. Fair enough. And what did he have you doing for the Chiss poster Lara Coralon? He had me kill her. She knew too much. He had me helping her with some deliveries, but she was Lara Coralon? No. He had me help her with some deliveries, but she was Kara Coralon. Yeah, okay, good enough. I can help you enter the Hracca Glade and hunt the Kirkawort, but you should know that the Kirkawort has been driven out of the gate. It's in hiding somewhere. The only way it will return is if you get rid of all the Chiss poachers in the glade. They use an enhancement fog that sprays out of those packs they wear. Those chemicals have contaminated the glade and driven off most of the creatures. So first clear the Hracca Glade of all Chiss poachers. Correct. After you do that, the contaminated air should dissipate, and it shouldn't take them long for the Kirkawort to return to the glade. You'll know when one returns. Trust me, you'll know. Sounds good. I know what to do. Good. There are two other things you'll need to know. First of all, you can only have a group of up to 8 hunters in your group. Have up to 8 hunters in your group. More than that, and it quickly becomes impossible to conceal your presence in the glade. Which leads to the second thing. Even with the smaller hunting party, you will eventually be noticed by Sordan's hunters. When that happens, you'll be ejected from the glade. I estimate you'll have about 30 minutes in the glade. Understood. Anything else? He says, just one. Here's a gate pass. You will need to give this to me when you're ready to enter the glade. It's a forged pass, but it's necessary. Otherwise, I have nothing to cover the fact that I let you into the glade. This way I can point to the past and claim I didn't know that it was a fake. I'll help you, but I'm not putting my neck on the chopping block. Talk to me again when you're ready to enter, and remember you can only have up to 800s in your group. Hilariously, I don't know if there's ever a point in the game where you could have more than 8 people in your group, maybe in CU or pre-CU, but in NG it caps at 8. Forgot about this part. Yeah, so this is a part that a lot of players skip because you have to do a couple space missions that require you to be a little bit better than entry-level pilot. And the only thing you really get out of this is a badge and a cool backpack. But let's go. So yeah, first step 1 is clear all the Chiss poachers. Step 2, kill the big creature. So I'm going to be taking this one a little bit more seriously for the fact that this is technically a group instance, and the Hracca can flex on me potentially. Let's see, Spice still going, Pups are still going. But I kind of splurged, and I kind of spent some money. And I did go and purchase the Biological Focus Crystal. This is a very min-maxy item that you can get way later in your Galaxies career, but it gives you 250 Constitution. You normally get it by collecting, I think it's like 15 Aquamin tokens, 15 Moss Espa tokens, and I think 10 Exarchune tokens. And then redeeming it at the Rryatt vendor, which I'll be doing the Rryatt pre-quest stuff later. But it's tradable, so I just bought it from somebody because screw it. So I'm going to bio-link it, and we're going to pop that so we have a little bit extra health in here. And let's see here. Put it on there, use that. And to be really safe, we're going to take Breath of Heaven, which I've talked about Breath of Heaven before, but it's a drink that gives you 211 Constitution, dodge chance. So I'm going to be dumping that movement speed from Acaragum. Just to be a little safe, which I think I accidentally just took Acaragum. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's get hunting. So you'll see that the quest I've gotten is a level 86 group quest, as that's the recommended. If you die in here, you will spawn here, but keep in mind, again, when an NPC slays you, you lose all your buffs, so, you know, you're just making your life harder by dying, so just don't die. And we'll take Spice again. I'll take Neutron Pixie for a little bit more of a survivability buff over Shadow Paw. So you see level 76, level 73 creatures, so we might get aggroed from some of these, but I'm going to try and ignore them, but apparently they're fans of mine, so they're coming over here. At least the Mouf is. Alright, so we have to find all of the Sith poachers, which you can usually find them because they're standing in these giant piss clouds. And that they have the piss clouds emanating from their face. They're level 78 strongs though, so I don't want to snooze on these guys, but not too worried about them. Kent says, Kit here, I'll monitor the scanning array for the Hracca Glade and send you periodic updates on the number of Chiss poachers left. Okay. Wow, babies can spawn in here. Cool. I want to AoE this guy, but I am a little worried about pulling too many Chiss at once, but let's just go hard. Wow, you really can't see much in this piss cloud. Can't believe I could actually bring my medic in here and tame babies inside a boss instance, technically. That's really funny. Okay, 5 Chiss poachers at once was a little dicey, so let's not do more than that. Alright, so we're actually going to use the droid, just because it'll do a little bit extra damage. It's definitely not going to carry in here, being level 60, but that's all we can use as a combat class. Or combat profession. Or I guess non-traders, to be more specific. I do have, like, 2 droid commands on my bar, the needle and the electric shock, but honestly, I don't really care. Let's just go clockwise around here, because I think the Chiss are kind of scattered around. I remember doing this instance with Griffin Striker when we were leveling, and we did have to like take a minute to go around, check all these nooks and crannies. Again, we just gotta mostly look for these big, thick piss clouds. It's definitely an area where, like, if you are doing this, having an officer is nice, just so they have charge and scatter to move you around from point A to point B a little faster. Luxury for most people I know. Piss clouds is funny. It reminds you of back in the day on live when with your shitty computer, the river by Nims and Locke was piss water. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Kent just came in. It says, looks like you've cut the number of Chiss poachers in half. Keep the good work. Damn, there are a lot of them in here. Yeah, so the reason I refer to it as piss clouds because it's the same animation or same particle effect used for medics. And this is bad. I shouldn't have AoE'd that much. But here I am. Also didn't use Decapitate on that guy, but I did. See, the problem is I don't know if these guys Deathblow or not. I want to say they do. And I need emergency shields there. But I was still closer than I would have liked. I saw the other guys, and I didn't register how close they actually were. But anyway, so the reason I call these piss clouds is because it's the same particle effect used for the Medic's nerve gas cloud. But it's funny, the Medic's nerve gas wasn't always this color. The original Medic's nerve gas is the same particle effect. The original nerve gas particle effect was the same that you would see on Mustafar randomly out in the plains. Is that big, like, brick-colored cloud that just goes right up like a tornado, and then has like small little sparkle effects in it. But I think it was changed off of that because it was a very difficult thing to see through. And it was, you know, kind of obscuring people's visions for, like, mechanics in PvE and then just general PvP. So at some point they changed it to the yellow cloud instead, which is much more chill. I think the area map here that you get from pulling up with V is really useful, specifically to like trace where you've been when you're looking for these poachers. By the way, so if you're having a hard time, just like kind of keep track of where you are in this area using the area map. My AOE's are just such a workhorse when it comes to my damage. You know, I got to make sure that that if I pull those out, that I make them useful. Because again, my area of effect attacks, these four, my core ones, artillery, core bomb, Doxus grenade, and shock grenade, all have 100% crit chance with me fully buffed and over it because of my expertise tree and my gear. So they're really doing a lot of work in terms of just even my single target damage. So when I'm trying to burn things down single target without them, it's not bad, but you can tell that it's definitely not as fast. Zinkin says, actually, you're down to only 5 Chiss poachers in the glade. So now we're down to 4 after that one. Where haven't I gone on this map? Like over here, right? Because I went up this way. So then this interior area. Maybe I mixed them back near the gate. I remember doing this with a Griffin Striker and this happening. Did I go up in this pocket? I feel like I did. I'm scrolling over the dots on my mini-map to see if I can't find where I missed them. I did go up in here to defeat these. There's just a lone Bantha hanging out in here. We'll leave it alone. Bantha didn't do anything to draw my ire. We have 15 minutes left. And it's going to be playing hide and seek with these poachers. I mean, worst case scenario, I just kill all SOBs and that'll filter them out. It's got to be back here somewhere. I must have passed him. Oh, yeah, I passed him. They were right here. There's a little pocket. That sucks. But I found them. So yeah, when you enter, you hang to the left, and there's 4 of them back here. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the first person to miss that. My power-ups just wore off, but that's okay. Kent says, 1 poacher remains. Kill that last, and the Kirkward should be open. That should be all of them. If there's 1 poacher I miss somewhere, I'm going to scream. Where's the scout tracking ability when you need it? Yeah, right. I wish that, like, the quest would show you, like, the count on the upper right. Not just hunt and kill the Kirkward, but, like, this many Chiss remain. Because I feel like I killed them all. Springhouse are running around looking for these guys. Yeah, right. If your core memory of this experience is trying to find the Chiss poachers, I think there was a problem with the way this was designed. I really don't want to fail this, because I don't want to have to do it again. since it's kind of out of the way. And unfortunately, I believe this has a lockout timer like most instances. So this is actually a good point to introduce this because we haven't had a case where this was usable. But if you enter the command /show I, this shows all the instances you're cleared for and lockout timers. It looks like this one actually might not have a lockout timer in this list. One might still exist for it, but this instance is so old they didn't account for it. So we have 10 minutes left. Nice. Or they didn't update it to be those timers. But it's funny, though, because if you look at this list again, you can see in it, it includes everything from, like, the core heroics to stuff the legend staff is added, like the Bespin Underground. But even the Mustafar stuff, like Droid Factory, the Old Republic facility, the Beetle Cave, but an Avatar, but it doesn't include, like, this instance. Unfortunately, also, I've been trying to do target a Chiss, but it's not working. I really feel like the... Oh, no, it's here. Cool. Okay, I got them all. Kid just was gaslighting me. Asshole. All right, let's see. What am I working with here? A level 86, 154,000 HP. You know, that's not a lot of HP. I was actually going to try and... I was thinking about putting on the parry power-ups. But I think we're just going to put... Let's just go hard. Shadow Paw. Weapon damage power-ups. Like, let's just nuke it. I got Tactic Electron. Hey, baby. You know, it does not hurt as much as I thought it would. I think we'll be fine. I didn't even put charge up. I should have put charge up. I'm a bad officer. I'm just ignoring... If you get shaken and you can purge it, do it. Okay, it's dead. I'm still gonna throw out all my AoEs, though. Apparently it dropped 5 things. It's all just static gear and an ISO. I mean, the static gear probably goes for more than the Dejarik keypad. Oh, yeah, that was the Kirk Award, by the way, everybody. Sorry, there was no, like... I was so focused on, like, finding the Chiss. Literally no time in my mind for anything else. I was just glad that I found it. I want to take these. Because that's the money. We gotta go back to Kent, so let's get out of here. GG, everybody. Here's the corpse, I guess. It's pretty cool, right? You still can't get it as a pet as of now, but it's got like 8 eyes, 4 on each side, or 6 eyes? 6 eyes. It's pretty neat, right? It's a pretty cool creature. You do get the trophy head, yes. I wonder if they would ever bring back the Ranger class. There was actually a proposal submitted on the Legends forums by one of the senators last term that would bring back the Ranger as like... the proposal was on the lines of bringing back Ranger features as like a... specialty, kind of like how Chronicler is a specialty. So, like, you would have to do Ranger-related tasks, but then they would unlock Ranger-related skills that were never brought back in the game, like traps, tracking specific creatures, and etc. Personally, I don't believe the game's mechanics facilitate traps. Like, the only traps that really exist in the game that are still usable is if you buy, like, mines from the recruiters or whatever, or the base vendors for GCW, but they're just more obnoxious than anything. I just don't think mines and like consumable grenades were ever really thought about where their place was in the sandbox, so I don't really care to see like place traps become a thing. Personally, it is weird that they don't exist. It's hard to like have a hunter's RP when if you want to RP actually placing a trap, you need to play like spy or bounty hunter. But we're back with Kent, though. Oh, yeah, they wanted... Specifically, the proposal was they wanted Ranger to be a faction like Underworld is, and you have to, like, earn faction for it. But either way, I killed the Kirker Wart. Inventory overloaded. I'm impressed. Seriously, you're a much better hunter than I thought you were. Well done. And there's our reward. So we get the Kirkerwort trophy. Its head. It's the final trophy from the Etyyy hunting grounds. We have them all. And we also get the Cyssc Poacher backpack, which was the thing that was... It does not create clouds, but it is a cool looking backpack. It does biolink though. It doesn't give you any stats, but you can always put it in your appearance slot if you want to wear it for looks. It's very Trade Federation-y looking in my opinion. But it is a pretty cool backpack. Either way, we're actually done with the Etyyy hunting grounds. I'm gonna go find a junk vendor and I think there's one actually in this camp, and we're gonna get rid of some stuff here. Yeah, the pack was pretty popular throughout like all of Live, but it was pretty popular when it was introduced because there wasn't a lot of aesthetic choices from packs that weren't just crafted by a domestics tailor. You know what I'm saying? Or just a tailor, I guess. So even now, people still want it. It's like a cool look if you like want to go like the full cybernetics route, like make yourself look like a droid, or if you're trying to really do the Cyssc angle, but you just can't make yourself blue yet. Okay, I don't think any of these were keepers. Besides that 122, which is a reflective heat resistance. The reason we keep these is for reverse engineering gear for the ground game. So like to get these stats on my gloves, the 35s, you need these items get consumed in that process. Don't worry about it if you're not familiar with it. Know that if you get a backpack full of like 22 or 23 and up stats, you could sell it for like 2 mil-ish, around there. I keep them because I reverse engineer. Stick them in a droid so you don't sell them. Yeah, it's probably a better idea than putting them in my backpack, huh? I do have a storage droid. Honestly, I could probably stick a few things in my backpack in here. Like all these trophies and stuff we got today. I don't really need to be carrying all this around. Like I made this fuss about the biocrystal, but then did I even pop it? No, I didn't even activate it. I just biolinked it and then never activated it. Biggest brain ever here. Freshed our meds, and we're gonna go to the Rryatt Trail. The Rryatt Trail, out of the three main hunting, the two hunting trails, and I mean the Dead Forest isn't a hunting trail, but it's an instance. So out of the three main like hunting themed instances, I'd say the Rryatt Trail is my favorite. I think it does the best environmental narrative storytelling and giving you the feeling that you are a hunter going into the dangerous lands to do something. It's also a bit more condensed than Etyyy, so you get the XP rolling in much faster and completing objectives and less back and forth. And even though you can't even call creature mounts in the Rryatt Trail, I still feel like it's just overall easier to traverse. If you want to find the Rryatt Trail and you're having a hard time, use this point of interest to bring it up. It's up here in the northern corner. One thing you'll notice that is when you go up to the gate door and click it, you'll see instances. These instances indicate the player population in here. We saw it at the Madril Caverns. So it looks like 1, 5, 6 are medium. So we'll go for one of the light trails and hopefully we don't run into anybody. My brain says 3. Why not? The Rryatt Trail is a popular place for players to come in AFK. So that's usually why you'll see a good number of instance population in here. But once we enter, there's a few things we want to do. First is come over here and speak with Achonko, or whatever. So you wish to learn the secrets of the Rryatt Trail. It is a dangerous place, perhaps too dangerous for you. Nothing's too dangerous for me. My character would have this attitude, especially by now. We will see about that. There are paths like the one you see before you that will get you from the safety of Kachiro to the depths of the Shadowed Lands. And there are trails known only to the trail guides. Where can I find these trail guides? They are throughout the trail. When you reach one, they will share with you their secret paths throughout the Rryatt. As you learn more of these lands, your future travels will be faster with less danger. Then I will seek out these trail guides. May the forest spirits guide your way. So the importance of speaking to the trail guide is, as they stated, once you find another trail guide later in a path, you can actually speak with them to bring you back to the entrance gate here faster. You could also speak with the Master Trail guide, just jump to the different levels. So you can see in the quest here, there's the High Grounds, the Worshire Canopy, the Webweaver Pass, and the Shadowed Lands. There are 5 levels. There's what we're on right now called the Gate level. And then they advance in the descending order here. So next is High Grounds, then Worshire Canopy, Webweaver Path, and Shadowed Lands. So it's very important you get this quest. If you don't get this quest, navigating the trail is going to be a lot more frustrating. We're going to come over here and speak with Moufs, who is indeed a human in Wookiee armor, which begs the question is why can't the rest of the humans wear Wookiee armor? But you know what? They stuck him in it. I have a business proposal for you, if you are interested. I was looking to bring back a trophy from my trip here, but I just can't bring myself to travel down this path. I may be interested. What did you have in mind? The Minstinger lives a ways down the trail. It is a ferocious creature, all large and mean, and I was wondering if I could hire you to go down there and collect for me a pristine horn. I just really want the horn to hang over my mantle. The actual adventure can be saved for someone else, someone like me. Exactly. And my assessment is based on absolutely no combat experience whatsoever, so you obviously look like a competent warrior. Not really a glowing review, but right. And what is in this for me? I tell you what, if you win this, I'll let you have my weapon. I have just about everything here a hunter can need, and I am obviously not a hunter, so feel free to take it, but only once I get the horn. All right, I'll get this thing for you. Perfect. I'll talk to the town. I'll be the talk of the town. And this one won't talk to me yet. And we walk over here, Kerpauk. Can't remember if they have something to say. Oh, they do. Greetings and welcome to the Rryatt Trail. As an important part of the Kashyyyk tradition, Wookiees come to the trail to prove themselves as warriors. Would you like to undertake some of the trial of the Rryatt Trail? Yes, tell me more. To show that you are an accomplished warrior, you must defeat some of the fierce denizens of the Rryatt Trail. First, I would like you to hunt Wookiees skull smashers, kill 16 of them, and then return to me. I'll do it. You will not have to descend any deeper into the Rryatt Trail to find Wookiees skull smashers. Hunt and kill 16 of them, and then return to me. Wow. So those are the quests that we can get from the starting area. Which the Trail Trials is a group quest, as there are some difficult enemies in here. But while we're also in here, we need to find Vitrol. Vitrol is going to give us the reward that Brody Johnson promised us, or Johnson Smith, which is the Kashyyyk and Bantha mount. Vitrol, though, is, I believe, somewhere over here. I think he's near the end, actually. You love doing the Rryatt Trail. Rryatt Trail is definitely a fun place, especially if you're questing with another player. Not that I would say that all of the challenges stack up to, you know, if you're over-leveled for it, but doing this when we were at level, Griffin and I, was very fun. And the only area that I really don't like too much walking around in is honestly the high grounds, but because between where the Moufs spawn ends and the trail ends, there's really nothing there but other like a couple of Bolatars and a off the side path a quest related NPC. So I'd probably say the high ground is my low point of the trail. Okay, I believe the Vitrol's back here off of one of the side bridges. Because the first side bridge takes you to a rebel camp, which you might need to visit depending on a quest you're doing. And if you're looking for scout troopers, which is a rebel-related quest, they're all hanging out down here. There's also this underpath, which I think is a big loop, but that might be actually where we need to go. So let's go this way. I forget. Oh, yeah. Actually, this is where we need to go for Vitrol. Here's Vitrol, speaking with them. Brody told me to expect you. I have your Kashyyyk Bantha ready. Please treat it well, and you will find it to be a loyal pet. It can traverse broken terrain and steep slopes better than most mounts. Thank you. It's actually a pretty slow mount. I just recommend go buying a creature egg from a Beastmaster. But you can journey through this and use this if you haven't found a creature mount already, or maybe if you just want to be more in the hunting spirit for Kashyyyk. The Kashyyyk Bantha might be more in line with your roleplay. Alright. I'm going to bring up the quest that has me slaying Skull Mashers. Oh, I'm already done. Okay, well, we'll go back to Kerpak after we get to the end of this trail, since we're about halfway there. Here's Nagal. I believe they're tied to another quest. Yeah. I like his statement, though. Stop distracting me. It's hard enough to stay alive down here, but if you lose focus, bam, a whole bucket of death will hit you. A bucket of death, huh? Fun fact, the boss in this area, the Waluget, can actually spawn as a baby and be tamed. All right, so we're here at the end of the gate level, and here's the Rryatt Trail guide that we were talking about earlier with the Master Trail guide. We speak to them that you want to go up or down. So what you want to do is go up, which will unlock the high grounds area for us. But before we continue, let's go back to the gate and talk to Kerpak, because we slew the stated number of Walugas. Very good. You've completed the Waluga's Skull Smasher hunt. Next, I ask of you to defeat the crazed former Jedi who's hiding on the Rryatt Trail. His name is Urutar. He is dangerous and not welcome on the trail. Please go defeat him. I'll do it. You will find Urutar somewhere in the second level of the Rryatt Trail. He still knows some tricks with the Force, so please be cautious. Remember me once you defeat him. So if we go back to the Master Trail guide, you'll see that we can now say, I would like to go to the high grounds. And we'll just go right back up to that guide we went to. So you always want to go up a floor before returning back to the gate if you're still unlocking trail guides. Unfortunately, there's a lot of... Well, not a lot. There's a couple creatures on Kashyyyk that you cannot get as beasts, as pets, through the Beast Mastery system, or even tamed as familiars. The Kirkerwort is one of them. Another one is the Katarin, which we'll see at the end of this trail. But happily, a lot of these can. So like you can get a Mouf as a pet. You can get, you can tame Moufs, because we just passed a baby. You saw a lot of creatures in the Etyyy hunting grounds that you could tame as creatures, and many of those could also be obtained through the Beast Mastery system. There's also some that you're going to get through Beast Mastery as a pet, but not tamed. So those are in the Madril Caverns, the Uwari Beetle, and their Urtosaurus, which we will be seeing later. You'll notice there's a lot of Moufs here. If you ever need to farm, I think it's bristly hide? There's a type of hide here that's good to farm off of the Moufs. And I think the Moufs also produce wild meat. If you ever need to farm Kashyyyk and wild meat, this is a good area to do it. It's also not a bad area to learn Flank 3 if you have a pet that you're trying to learn Flank 3 for. Personally, if you're playing on Legends, I go to Bespin, go to the industrial spaceport, and go north. And I learned Flank 3 over there by going down into the industrial sector and seeing the Salt Minox. It's a really fast place to learn Health Leech, Flank, and Wind Buffet and Bite. So we've run into some Rhodians. I know some of them are part of Zivin's clan, but here's Trisk. So let's talk to Trisk. I'm surprised to see someone like you this deep into the Rryatt Trail. Most people don't stray much further than the first level or even the gate area. You must be pretty good at defending yourself. Any interest in helping me out with a few things? Maybe. What's the trouble? A few things, actually. First and foremost, I need your help to clean up an embarrassing situation. A group of Rhodian hunters were exploring the deeper regions of the trail, but they got lost. After weeks and months of stray on the trail, low on provisions and out of communication with the main camp, they finally lost it and were driven mad. They are an embarrassment to all Rhodians. Please find them and get rid of them as many as you can. That's kind of depressing, but I'll do it. Last I heard, they were seen on the third level of the trail. Go find them. If you can kill them, I'll consider your part complete. Return to me once you're done. So after speaking with Trisk, we want to hang to the left here as the path does split. You can kind of see it on the map. Honestly, the map for the high grounds is probably one of the more useless maps. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you stay to the left, you can see peeking up here, there's a little tent. This is where the Jedi is staying. The, quote, crazed Jedi. Aruto, he's a level 60 strong enemy. Are you human? Yep. Took him out. Oh yeah, so I guess I haven't defeated a Force Sensitive up to this point, as we activated the collection Order 66, which is the Slayer collection for defeating Jedi. Also back here behind his tag, you can find a pile of weapons and skeleton bones. One of those weapons is the Exemplar's Mark, which we saw earlier from the Dead Forest. Click that, add that to our rare weapon carbine collection. Since we're out here. But let's run back down and let's go up to the next level. But before going off to hunt the Rodians, I think we're gonna actually, we might be able to get the Minstinger's horn, and then head back down because we only need one. I would say Boltars are in my top 5 creatures on SWG. And them silly little lizard boys. I will say Varactyl's rate higher, though. Just the feathers are cool. Varactyl's also got that movie appeal from episode 3. So, you know. Alright, so we're already down here at the trail guide, which we went back to that fork and then went the other way. So we are now at the end of the high ground, so we'll go up to the next level, which will unlock the Worcestershire canopy. That's the way I say it. Kind of like if you mispronounce Worcestershire sauce as Worcestershire sauce. That's kind of how I think about it. There is a Minstinger Thrasher. If we get really lucky, we won't have to go any deeper. We can just get a horn off this one and turn around immediately. Place your bets. Nope. Ah, they no charge. That's annoying. I just kind of want to get a horn and turn around. Luckily, there's a group of Minstingers up here. These are all mid-60s, by the way, so keep that in mind. The first level, they were in the low 50s. High grounds are more like mid-50s, up to 60 with the Jedi. Up here, we're going to see mid-60s now. Or mid-50s to 60. Now up here, we're going to see mid-60s. Oh no, what the hell? I got jumped by a Blackscale guard, which is part of a quest. Oh yeah, it's part of the Minstinger quest, but I think he got stuck. Wow, there are 2 Jekyll Vulture babies right here. Look how tiny they are. Because the Jekyll Vultures are already small. This guy's a little drop of ketchup. And yes, they look like Karthus Cliffjumper because they're just carrion spats. Some of the Kashyyykan creatures are not unique. They're just renamed versions of other creatures that already exist in the galaxy because they need to fill out the plant fauna a little bit more. I didn't mean to go back down. I meant to go to the gate. Whoops. Take me to the gate. I didn't mean to come back to the high grounds. Alright, so let's speak with Carl first. What, you are back already? Do you have it? Through Trandoshans and all, I made it back. The Force be praised. This is excellent. And you mentioned something about a reward? Oh, yes, that's right. Here, take this. My father gave it to me for this trip. I'll let him... I'll tell him I lost it in a game of cards. He is sure to believe that. Your family must be so proud of you, Carl. Enjoy your trophy. I'm sure the story of how you got it will be grand. That I will. You mentioned something about Trandoshans? Slavers or hunters, who's to say? They attacked me on the trail. My guy here's named Zaliot. Why don't you speak with him about it? The Rryatt Trail are his lands. Okay. And for those who are not familiar, this is the Proton Carbine. It fires out hockey pucks, apparently. Not a bad weapon skin. I overheard your conversation. Trouble with the Trandoshans and the Rryatt is not uncommon, though I have not heard of them attacking off-world orders. I would say that if you are up for it, I have a mission for you. What sort of thing do you have in mind? Well, you made it back alive, so you must have been able to defeat the Trandoshans. Well, it was one, and it was level 64, so sure. Down farther in the trail, they have a hunting base. In this base is a radio. I want you to bring back that radio so that I can assist other clients avoid confrontations with the Trandoshans in the future. Just get the radio. That seems easy enough. The Trandoshan's at the camp may think differently. Good luck, I'll be waiting here for you to return. So hilariously, the Trandoshan radio quest is listed as level 75. I'd say that's underselling it. You'll see when we get there. Level 75 is an appropriate difficulty for that part of the trail, that trail overall, but the Blackscale camp is much more difficult than that. However, if you are a profession with cloak, like a Jedi who spec'd into it or a spy, you could get by. But anyone else going in solo at level 75 would be difficult. All right, let's talk to Kerpak while we're here because we defeated the crazed Jedi. Rudor was a powerful foe. You have done well to defeat him. For your next hunt, I ask you to cleanse the Rryatt Trail of feral Wookiees. The terrors of the Rryatt Trail proved to be too much for these Wookiees, and they reverted to a primitive animal-like state. No comment. Please cleanse the trail of these feral Wookiees, and in doing so, give the Wookiees an end to their suffering. I'll do it. Thank you. Please send 24 feral Wookiees to the peaceful slumber of their final rest. You'll find these Wookiees in the 4th level of the Rryatt Trail. Return to me once you are finished. Okay, back up to the Shire Canopy. You do like the space mission this leads up to? Real talk? I don't even remember the space mission. All space missions kind of blended together for me. They're all like some variant of escort, search and destroy or whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, space. Cool. The only space missions that stick out are the Ace missions, so blowing up the Corvette, the Civilian Projections Guild in Kashyyyk space, which we will do, and Smuggler's Alliance, only because I've done it a billion times. Tipping the Scales. Oh, that space quest name does sound familiar to me. Also, I like that's called Tipping the Scales. Because it's like, you know, a double entendre with Trandoshans having scales. And then also changing the scales in your favor. But on a more pertinent note, you'll see that if you're using the overhead map, which if you're on the Shire Canopy, heavily recommend it. It's easy to get lost here. Or just stuck on collision. You'll see that there's a path that splits north and a path that goes east. If you're hunting Mistingers or looking for Laborar, I believe you can spawn on the right path. We're not, though. I mean, we are, but we'll get Laborar later. We're going to take the north pass, as this actually leads to crazed Rodians. And we do need a lot of those guys. I believe also on the east pass, there's like some other humanoid faction here. Oh, wait, these are the poachers. Maybe I went the... Wait, are these the right guys? Maybe I was supposed to go the other way. Shit. Right. You aren't the right guys. They're all Aquilish? I've never... Right? These are all Aquilish? No, they're not all Aquilish. I just happened to get a spawn of a lot of Aquilish. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was right. Hold on. Let's go back. Because I'm pretty sure that... I mean, the paths meet up again. But I'm pretty sure we should be fighting Rodians sooner than this, right? Okay, so I went back to the fork. I'm going to right. Because I think I might be getting crossed. I think maybe the left is the Deepwood Poachers and the right's the Rodians. I had a 50-50 on this, everybody. It's been a bit. So if you have the Find Missing Sun quest still and we're trying to retrieve Tratuk's Spear, Labarar spawns in 2 places on the Rryatt Trail, this being one of them. Might spawn in... Yeah, I think he only spawns in 2. So if you don't find him here, though, he can be found in the entrance of the Shadowlands. He's commonly AFK farmed there, though. But yeah, right past Labarar is actually the crazed Rodian, so I lied. Got the crossroads go right, not left. A crutched baby. It's such a small, ugly Kiwi thing. It's kind of nice that all the lost Rodian hunters kind of grouped up in the same area and weren't all lost separately. Even though that'd make much more sense that they would all go mad separately on their own rather than them making their own little crazy camp party and going mad all in the same area. The only thing that kind of fails the plot here is these guys have been supposedly lost for days and months. But the, It took us like, what, 3 minutes to walk over here? Part of the simplicity and shortness of the area betrays the narrative being woven about it. You know what I mean? So you just kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit on this one. Especially since the trail guide to the next floor is actually not very far from here. It's got to follow the SPaghettiOs to the end. So you can always usually find the trail guide at the far end of wherever you came in. They'll always appear on the overhead map as a white arrow, as they're just an NPC you converse with. So that's always a good thing to use if you ever get lost here. So let's descend into the Webweaver path. So to illustrate this narratively, the gate level is actually the highest level in terms of altitude, and we descend down to the high grounds and then down to the Worshire Canopy and then down into the Webweaver Path. So we're going down as we descend. It gets more and more difficult. But before we travel the Webweaver Path, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the gate, because we got some quests that we want to update here. Specifically, we want to go back and talk to our Rodian friends, as they might give us more stuff to do. So we're going to go back to the gate. Follow me on this one. Then we're going to go back to the Worshire Canopy. I know Rodians aren't on that floor, but follow me here. Then we're going to talk to the gate guard and say go back up to the level. So we'll go back up to the high grounds. And now we're going to run to the Rodians, because the Rodians are a little bit closer to the end of this gate than they are, end of this floor, than they are to the front. So I think it's a little bit faster just to go up to Worshire Canopy and then ascend to the high grounds and go back from the end, especially if you're at level, because then you could just completely avoid worrying about having to aggro any of the Moufs that are at the front of this area. So it just makes traveling a little bit easier, in my opinion. I haven't timed this, so I could be wrong, but I'd say at best the travel distance is probably similar anyways. You just avoid encounters this way. Which I did switch my food back to Acaragum for the speed bonus, because I'm obviously in the Rryatt Trail with no mounts allowed. You're going to be doing a lot of footwork here. So if you don't have go with the flow in your entertainer buff, you better be chugging that Acaragum. You'll save so much time with this. And I know some of you are like, you've given this tip about Acaragum a billion times for you. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if someone's new and they maybe haven't heard it before, or they, they forgot about it. Maybe they just didn't hear it before. You always got to hammer these home, But we're back with Cyssc. He says, thank you for your help with that situation. That's one less thing to worry about. Another thorn in our side, though, is a group of thieves known as the Deepwood Poachers. That's why I thought I had to go left, because he also gives you quests to deal with them. Got it. These poachers often raid our camps to steal our supplies and the bounty of our hunt. Go assure them that they are not wanted here. Kill 25 of them, that should do it. I'll do it. Back up to the Worshire Canopy. Let's go. All right, so here we're back with the Deepwood Poachers. I'm glad they all have melee weapons so they don't run away from me when I get close. You just finished your Rebel Gunboat grind. Congratulations. That is not a grind I have done. I have thought about it. But then when I look at that Corvette requirement, I'm like, nah. I got stuff to do. That's not this. Granted, on Legends, they reduced the spawn time for the Corvettes, so it's not as grueling as it was on Live, but I don't know. It's enough time where I'm like, eh. Like, I grinded out the Vigo, but the Vigo's not too bad. You just gotta grind duty missions for a while. Specifically, it takes a while to get the capital ships or whatever doing the Vigo stuff, just because they only appear at the end of the rounds. I always think about, like, do I want to pick up a Rebel Gunboat? It'd be better than my Vigo. But then I'm like, I haven't even gotten people to get in my Vigo and load up the turrets. The most I've ever gotten people on a ship is I got 2 gunners, so I will hop in my YT 2400, because I'm like, well, I've only got 2, no reason whipping out, like, the gunboat. So, because, like, when I do show up to something and there is a good opportunity to have, like, a gunboat there, someone else is already piloting one, so I'm just like, man, whatever. The Vigo's the best. Aesthetically, the Vigo's the best. Meta-wise, the Vigo's the worst for PvP. It has pretty whack turret placement, especially since the what is it? The ventral aft starboard side turret, I think, has the satellite dish that blocks most of its line of sight, which sucks. So I always put, like, if I have to, like, put a shitty turret somewhere to make room for mass, I always put it in that spot. I tell people don't sit in that spot unless there's no other open seats, which, again, I've never loaded up my video, so it's never been a problem. Most of my space participation's obligatory at this point. You play SWG for space. Yeah, a lot of people play it for, well, a lot's, maybe not the right word. A good portion of the player base play exclusively for the space experience. And we were talking about this on a recent stream. My argument as to why people still like Star Wars Galaxy Space is, besides obviously it's Star Wars and it's like the only Star Wars space sim you have. Like, you have Star Wars Squadrons, but that's not a sim. That's more of an arcade flight in the vein of X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. But SWG is not only a space sim in Star Wars, but it also has the crafting aspect, which a lot of flight simulator games don't have. And I think that's what draws a lot of people to that aspect of the game. Not just mining asteroids, but harvesting resources, crafting ships. Personally, I don't think the endgame meta of reverse engineering and farming space parts is really that big of a selling point for players when it comes to the space meta, as I think even most space players would admit that it's pretty frustrating and not really rewarding after a point, because the gains become pretty little. But it's still a unique experience as a flight simulating game. Looking at one part, you need a great feeling. Yeah, that's true. But then you think about all the hours or duty tokens you've spent rolling for that part, and you're just like, damn. And then you also then look in your bank and see that you're rolling in money because space doesn't really have a good credit sync. So you're just like, shit, I have all this credits. What do I do with it? Trade it with other people who found the part that I want. I've kind of done what I wanted with. The only thing I haven't done on Legends that I've been wanting to do with space, but I haven't really marked out for it either, is Bespin convoys. Or Bespin beacons, excuse me. That's like the only space content I haven't done at this point. But we're back with Cyssc. That should show those poachers not to mess with the Rodians, or at least slow them down a bit. I have one last thing to ask of you. On the lowest level of the Rryatt Trail, some Godel hunters have set up a small camp. These Godels think they are the mightiest hunters on the planet and show the rest of us no respect. I want them to learn the hard way to respect Rodians, not to mention the fact that they shouldn't be here in the first place. I can do that. Perfect, you'll find the Godel hunters camp on the lowest level of the Rryatt Trail. They are usually in the camp and wandering in the surrounding area. Kill any Godel hunters you find. I don't care if they are just hunters or trappers or even their pathetic leader. Kill 18 of them and then return to me. So the reason I defeated the deep poachers and then came back here is because I knew that we were going to have to go down and defeat Godels. And after that finishing that poacher quest, we shouldn't have to return the Worcestershire canopy for anything. But the next one we're going to complete is slaying feral Wookiees in the Trandoshan radio. But speaking to space again, still, since we were on that topic, I've experienced space duels, space GCW PvP, I've been in gunboats. I've been in everything from a gunner in a big gunboat to medium-sized POB to my own fighter. I never really got into grinding parts, but space isn't impenetrable, but it is a large time commitment, and it just doesn't pay off emotionally the way other parts of the game for me do. You can definitely set goals and work towards those goals, but a lot of seasoned spacers rightly admit that it's basically a casino. Especially, like, if you're like, oh, it's double token begin, let me go grind out duty tokens, and then you go, hit cash noons. It's just a casino looking for parts. So it's just like, it doesn't feel very good for me. So it just doesn't have the content loop and satisfaction that I personally would want out of the system. But I'm also not the biggest fan of like light games or in general. Like, I played about 10 hours of Squadrons and then felt satisfied and walked away. If I had a VR headset, which that game really felt like it's a spectacle with VR, I probably would have gotten more into it, but I kind of did the story, played a bit of the multiplayer, and I'm like, I am satisfied, and walked away from it. But yeah, I think space is cool in this game. It's just like, again, most of my engagement with it is just doing quests that I like to do. Like, I enjoy the Civilian Protection Guild. I like the stuff that is a little bit more narrative and setup. Unfortunately, most of the plot lines for space are really bad. That's not to say that they're better on ground, as we've seen doing the legacy quests again. They are generally pretty stinky, but a lot of the writing for the space trainers, at least out of what I've experienced, feels like a definite afterthought. And then, you know, like I said, the quests usually come down to the same handful of things, which, you know, you could argue ground content does it well. The only difference is ground content has more curtains, as in set dressing. Like, look, I'm not killing spiders on Talos anymore. I'm killing spiders on Kashyyyk. Or in space, it's just a skybox. It's just a skybox. Which is like, yeah, that makes sense for in space. Yeah. I tend to be a little bit hard on space on stream, and I don't mean to. I guess I'm just disappointed that I'm not more into it, because I think it's a really cool aspect of the game, especially that you can, like, decorate POBs and stuff. And I think it's one of the things that makes Star Wars Galaxies really notable as a game, because I don't know any MMO that has like a fully fleshed out space sim inside of it, especially one that still interacts with the ground content a little bit like Lost Star Destroyer and Avatar Platform. So I think it's really novel, and an MMO really hasn't done it since, which it would be a lot of development work, so I understand why, but... And its absence from Star Wars The Old Republic at launch and still to this day, because they really haven't put in a true space game since, is still like one of the reasons why I think Star Wars The Old Republic didn't stick with me, is that Star Wars is about Star Wars. So if you don't have like some space stuff going on, then what are we doing, man? I know it's a big ass development wise, but it's also Star Wars. It's one of the most popular IPs and profitable in the world. Throw that money out there, man. Bring me my space aspects, man. Like, Galactic Starfighter and SWTOR is fine. It's just X-Wing versus TIE Fighter again. Which is crazy how many people still try and just, like, bring back X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Yes, it was a cool game. I'm not trying to downplay it, but we've had so many X-Wing and TIE Wing, like, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter spin-off space titles. I like to see more of the jump to light speed space stuff, even though I'm not the biggest space sim nerd, but I feel that, like, that integrates better with an MMO format. But I digress. Alright, we, euthanized enough feral Wookiees. Doesn't feel good saying that. So let's get the Trandoshan radio. So this is the one that earlier that I said 75 does not feel right for this quest, and you're about to see why. I'm actually going to take this seriously and put on some pups. I'm going to put on that biological focus crystal that I said earlier. That's going to give me 250 con. I'll leave Akaragam on. I don't think I need if it gets dicey, I'll switch over to Breath of Heaven. We'll take that Neutron Pixie for a little bit more defense, though. Probably should pop Shadow Paw, but... So these Trandoshans are level 81, and they are elite, and there's always in groups of 2 or 3. And it's hard dodging them. So these guys are substantially more dangerous than the Chiss we fought in the Hracca Glade. So you might see me playing a bit more conservatively here. Taking on 3 is fine, but you can see why now I popped all my buffs. This is more like a group quest, like a level 80 group quest, not a solo quest. You can kind of circumvent them a little bit by going up on hills, but they're very aggressive, and because they're level 81, even though I'm, like, you know, clearly 9 levels above them, they'll still aggro onto you as a level 90. So we just gotta deal with them. Who's the weakest here? You? Definitely don't want to do this solo without a little bit of work, if you're not tanky. Like, maybe at level If you put some work into your commando or Jedi build and you're pretty tanky, maybe if you're Beastmaster at this point, maybe, but yeah, solo this is a little tough. All right, so now I got to be really careful not to pull all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually whip out my carbine here. And I'm just going to shoot this guy. I don't, because if I drop AoEs over there, we're pulling like 6 of these guys, and well, I know you would all love to see me struggle against 6 of these guys. I personally rather not die, as I'm pretty sure. I think they only in-cap, but they tend to want to instantly kill you as soon as you stand back up. So we're gonna defeat this guy. I'm not gonna AoE. I'm gonna try and slow him, drag him away from that group of 6. I really don't want to pull that group. Okay. So then we're going to stick to the left side of the camp, because, again, I don't want to risk the biscuit here. We're going to slither right in. I'm going to click this long-range comm unit, which is the radio, then we're going to slither out again, stay to the left side here, because I don't want to have to come back here, which we will have to eventually, but you see the Proton Carbine back here. We can add that to our Carbine collection. I did not move. That's fake news, dude. You saw me. But again, if you're a spy or a Jedi with Cloak, you could definitely sneak in here and do these things and sneak out. Anyone else though, I've tried soloing this in past at below level, and typically doesn't do too well. So we're just gonna stay on the right side here and just go around this way. I really don't want to risk it on. I could probably take on those 6, especially with the Bio Crystal pumping over 20k health finally. If I switch to Breath of Heaven, we'd even be tankier. But I'm just gonna call myself lucky that I got that done. So we need to turn and cleanse the trail and the Droshan radio, which is back at the gate. We're not quite halfway through this level, but I want to get all the way to the end of it. And do I want to get the Godels? Yeah, I guess we could go get the Godels. We'll go down to the Shadowlands, which those of you familiar with canon or even legacy continuity, the Shadowlands should be familiar to you. It's appeared in a lot of Star Wars media. It's a location on Kashyyyk that likes to come up a lot. It was in Fallen Order. It was also in, I think, Republic Commando. And I'm sure it probably appears in some novelizations and stuff. Let's also see... Oh, yeah, here's my favorite. This isn't the only spider that has a spelling problem, but this thing's name is a Webweaver with 2 V's. There's a lot of NPCs that have typos. I noticed them when I started cataloging tameable creatures. I mean, I noticed them before that, but I never really paid attention to how many NPCs exist with typos in their name. There's a lot. In fact, I think one of the Webweavers in the Dead Forest has a typo in its name. It might be the Tomb Singer. I think it's an extra letter. And this has never been fixed. I'm sure if I show them to Ryan, he would think about fixing them, but it's one of those things where it's like, fixing its name might break something in how it counts for like a quest or a collection or something. So it's also like, how many things do we really need to touch if that thing's name gets changed? All right, so if you're ever trying to get feral Wookiees, there are more deeper in the trail. So this is the first grouping that you can find past that first village area. There's one more grouping right at the end of the trail too. So if you find somebody AFK farming that area and you don't want to stand around waiting for respawns in their group, even though I think they have about a minute on their spawn timer. Maybe a little bit longer, actually. Yeah, a little bit longer. Maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. You can always run down to later points. Worst case scenario, you can always leave the trail you're on and go to a different one. And the June 2023 update, or no, before that, April? It was the April 2023 update, where they adjusted loot tables on Legends to curb the number of credits gained from AFKing. I believe the feral Wookiees were counted in that change. So people still AFK parts of the Rryatt Trail because there's specific junk loot they're going for. But the credit generation from these areas isn't as bountiful as it used to be, so there are fewer people farming these areas. I think a lot of those players went off to look for other areas to loot. That, or maybe they actually started playing the game. I've AFK'd a lot, but usually I AFK'd for specific loot items or leveling pets or alts. Never really AFK'd specifically just to get credits. If you're starting out, that's something that you will probably find yourself doing at one point or the other to like get gear and stuff, but there's a lot of things you could actively do to earn credits in this game. All right, so we're here at the end. Should we move down to the next level? So if you missed Labara in the Shire Canopy, he's down here, but this one's usually often AFK'd by people for some reason. I don't know why. I'm guessing he drops a specific loot item. I've never figured it out. There's also a group of Godel bandits that spawn here that end up getting AFK'd just by being near him, guilty by association. But there is another Godel camp, so we'll go ahead and hopefully no one's at that spot that I have to deal with. Actually, looks like there might be. Yeah. Someone's AFKing the Godel bandits. I've never seen anyone wedgie themselves back in there. That's new to me. Usually they just sit right on the camp up there in the north side. You can see enemies down here are level 80 and up, so. Oh, these guys are stuck because they got pulled by those people in the trees, and then they dropped, and now they're trying to find their way home. But fortunately, this is the only area Goat will spawn in, is that camp in the entrance. So I might exit and go to another instance and hope no one's farming them there. That's part of the reason why I wanted to come down here and look. Those are the ones that are stuck. We'll just go back to the entrance and turn in the quest that we finished and then leave. An abandoned Hracca, that's too far north, I think. The Shadowlands is definitely a floor where I find myself getting lost. As the map here is probably the most useless. Because the paths are much more narrow than is illustrated by this map. Alright, I'm going to go back down to the gate. Got almost half the Godels I needed, so I guess it's not too bad considering the situation. Alright, let's talk to Xylot first. Didn't expect me for another day, apparently. It was nothing. Here's the radio. This is perfect. I tell you what, I have a friend in town, Kamayar. She is up in the canteen in Kachira. Why don't you see her when you get a chance? She might have some more work for you if you're interested. So we'll speak with Kamayar next. But we finished that. Kirapauk says, thank you. Bringing peace to those feral Wookiees was a painful but necessary task here. Next task is the most dangerous yet. You will hunt the Minstinger on the lowest level of the Rryatt Trail. The Minstinger that are your targets are Minstinger Blood Spillers, Death Callers, and Bone Crushers. Do not take these creatures lightly, for they are formidable prey. I will do it. You'll find the Minstinger on the lowest floor. Yeah, you already told me that. They basically say the same thing again. So we're going to exit, and we're going to go to a different instance of the Rryatt Trail, and maybe there won't be people AFKing the bottom floor. Or if they are, they're not AFKing the entire Godel spawn. We need 24 Minstingers. The Minstingers are on the south side, southeast side. So I'm not too worried about them right now. Yeah, looks like I made a good choice. If someone is AFKing that area, they're constraining their greed. Oh, nope, somebody is. But maybe they're just hitting less? Maybe their macros broke. Well, that's fine. Alright, there's that. So those are all the Godels, so let's go get the Minstingers, which are now on the south side. We'll go down this way. Luckily, the creatures on this floor usually don't get farmed. Not like I might attack me. AFK. Yeah, I mean, on Legends, they have to have macros going and inviting, and during the Legacy quest, I was kind of like checking people, but I don't really want to spend my time doing that. I don't want to spend my time checking if people are following the rules. I'm not CSR, man. If someone's like farming something really obnoxious to AFK, like luckily like this one's bearable, but if they were farming like a specific named NPC that you couldn't find anywhere else, then and then they weren't, and then like, okay, well I need this, and then I invited them, and then I didn't have it, then I'd get grumpy. We don't need to defeat Scratch yet, so let's ignore him. We're gonna use our carbine to pull out some of these mint stingers. I'm gonna take a poison resistance here. Or disease resistance. Ooh, that hurt. What the hell? What are you guys hitting me with? Oh, I think I tab targeted the wrong thing. And I brought more in than I wanted. I think that's what happened there. We're okay. I did end up pulling way more than I wanted. Reclusive Group Kings. Yeah, Reclusive Group Kings are annoying. I'm thinking more of the Mustafar NPCs. There's some people who would AFK the salvage leaders over near the downed Republic ship wreckage in the central volcano, which those are quest NPCs. And there's not a ton of them scattered around the area, and some people would be grabbing like 4 or 5 at once. So that one's kind of annoying. So anything that is an instance, people used to farm the Stormlord, which is a quest NPC, because he would drop some valuable glowing loot. They made that a macro dump zone a long time ago, so that's not as much of a problem. There's still some areas that don't have macro dump zones that I kind of think, you know, I'd probably benefit from one. But, you know, this is a group quest I'm doing, by the way. So if everyone's like, wow, this seems hard, it's like, well, it's meant for me to be bringing at least a friend or two. The reason I'm not trying to kill Scratch is because Scratch is an named NPC that we'll need from some quest. I don't know which one. Or I don't remember right now. Like some people wanted to remove the Crate Graveyard as a no macro dump zone, but honestly, even though it's not really tied to any quest really, I'm glad that they didn't, because you can still easily AFK farm crates just right outside the zone. Just park your butt up against a house if you really want to farm them for hydros. It's not an inconsequential number of creatures given all the health they have. Again, this would be easier if I'm actually doing it as a group. We're starting into the area where I'm getting group quests that are actually close to my approximate level, and probably should have a buddy, but we got enough gear where we can kind of muster through it. Yeah, that poison dot hurts. If you can't purge that on your own, that's kind of an oofer. Okay, so we wander over the droids, so there's not going to be any mint stingers in that direction anymore. So we need to go back this way and see if any of the ones we killed closer to the Godel Bandits on the north end have started respawning yet. Man, I've almost cleansed this entire area of mint stingers, and I still don't have enough. I think their respawns are pretty long, because I have a vague memory of leaving the area, switching instances, and then coming back. But I also might be misremembering. Actually, I might be right on that, because none of the ones we defeated earlier have respawned yet, it looks like. Awkward. So yeah, I guess I'll just head back and switch instances and come back up here. Again, this is one of those strange parts where it's like they put down, if I count the one that I didn't kill and ignore Scratch, they put down 18. Scratch would make 19 total, but you have to kill 24 of them. And I was able to kill all of those before the first one started respawning back in. So that's a pretty long respawn timer. Because even if I did this with a group, like if there was a group of like 3 or 4 level 80s here, they'd probably clear all those faster than I did. So it seems kind of weird that it's scaled for a group, but it's also a very slow respawn. Oh, right, we gotta go back to the Rodians, right? That's the last thing he needs done. I guess I could just do that to kill time, huh? Alright, well, we'll go back to the Rodians and turn this in. I don't think they have any more quests after this one, though. So we'll go to the Worshare and then go up. I think time was adjusted from CU when combat was slower. You know, that makes sense for a lot of these older quests. I'd believe that. It's just weird because some of the quest NPCs in the legacy quests, which those were implemented post NGE, have really long respawn timers. So, like, a good example is when I was doing the Naboo legacy, there was a named NPC in the Darklighter. No, it's one of the it's there's the Skak Tippers and then the other faction, Darkstalkers. That's it. The Darkstalker cave outside Theed. I accidentally killed an NPC out of order. Um, a named NPC. Its respawn timer was 7 minutes. Just kind of like, I can't attribute that to CU Jank because they implemented that after NGE. So I think I think part of it is, yeah, maybe CU, they felt that was an appropriate respawn timer, and then part of it is just the up to the quest designer at the time. Okay, we're back with Trisk. Well done. If it was up to me, I'd make you an honorary member of Zivon's clan. Only he can do that, though. I'll speak to him about it, but in the meantime, you have my sincere thanks for all of your assistance. As a more meaningful reward, I do have permission from Zivon to give you a weapon from his personal stock. Would you like the Junti Mace or Flechette Pistol? The Flechette Pistol, I don't think it's a unique skin. I don't remember, but the Mace is way cooler, so we're taking the Mace. He says, well chosen. May the mace strikes true against any worthy prey. This thing is so cool looking. And you can deconstruct it and recraft it. I actually thought about making it my one-handed melee weapon for a little while, but I wanted to stick with the knife aesthetic, not the bludgeoning end. Not that there's a difference in damage types. It was just aesthetic choice. Okay, well, let's go back down to the gate level and then go back up and see if the Mintstingers are back. Wrong way. I'll bring out my droid and stash some of these. Oh, got 4 keepers. Wow, now we're getting some statted loot worth thinking about. This is an important note. Statted containers like backpacks and bandoliers that can be worn as a container. You don't keep those. Those can't be reverse engineered because containers can't be placed into the reverse engineering tool. So you can just junk deal these. Or use them as the pack you use to sell all the rest of the loot in. Oh yeah, have we talked to you since we found all the floors? Oh yeah, I think the quest is auto-completing, so let's get the last one. Okay, cool. Some of them started respawning. Wow, I didn't get inspiration proc out of all of that, rude. Oh, I should be running an inspiration macro. We'll talk about that once we get off this floor. It's only going to be really relevant to officers, obviously. Alright, just one more. Let's see if I can pick out one. No reason to pull the whole squad when you don't need to. Cool. Alright, so that's done. Yes. Alright, let's leave this floor. Here's Kirpak. You are truly a masterful hunter to have successfully killed a prey such as those Minstinger are. You have but the one trial remaining, but is by far the most perilous. Your last hunt is to kill a Katarn. The Katarn is one of the most feared creatures on all of Kashyyyk. To defeat one, you will need all of your wits and skills at their peak, and a few friends to help as well. I'll do it. You'll find the Katarn in the darkest depths of the Rryatt Trail. Have courage. Return me when you have killed a Katarn. And as a reward for that last quest, we got the Minstinger hunting trophy. It kind of remind me of Japanese Oni masks. Or how Onis are typically depicted in Japanese lore with the lower, like, mandible fangs. Either way. So what I'm going to do, because I totally forgot that this is the thing you should be doing. So for those officers out there, here's a gamer tip. What you want to do is you want to create a macro, which I do have one right here. That will automatically fire Pistol Drill Master. I have it fire every 5 seconds. I need to change the toolbar slot, though. Because I have Drill Master now in my last slot, which is 23. And then what I like to do is I just go into Options. Where is it? Here it is. And I just bind it to a key that I'm not using. So if you want to bind macros to something like I've shown before, you go into Custom. And then here is Auto Pistol Drill. What am I not using? I'm not using Shift H on this character. Cool. So now when I do this, it will fire a Pistol Drill Master every 5 seconds. And you can see that Pistol Drill Master does not take a lot of action to fire. It takes about 200-ish, which isn't a lot. And it'll help you proc Inspiration more frequently. So we're down in the Shadowlands again, and we're hunting the Katarn. The Katarn is in the northeastern part of the map. So we gotta bypass these Godels again. If you ever get lost on your way there, if you have the overhead map up, you can see these green lines over here. That's the Godel camp. So if you pass by this area, you know you're on the right path. Right back up in there. All right, so we're here at the Katarn's nest. You'll see the nestlings. The Katarn's actually one of my favorite creatures in Star Wars Galaxies also. Not just the Bolitar. It's pretty badass looking, but unfortunately, this is one of those creatures that you currently can't get as a pet. I've never noticed. I never stared at it for long enough. I never noticed like its front legs are hooves, but then its hind legs are like talon feet. You think it'd be the reverse, because it would try and scratch with its front legs and then make kick with its hind legs. Anyways, that's just whatever. No, it's fantasy Star Wars. It's fantasy Star Wars creatures. Don't worry about it. But anyways, we're gonna just pull the Katarn with a rifle. If I can stay within range of it. I mean, I could go beat it up. There's nothing near it. Oh yeah, me Pistol Drill Master being fired off here. Oh, you know, tougher than you look. 87. I guess it's technically harder than Kirkerwort, so I guess I shouldn't have been taking it so likely. I didn't even bring my droid out because I was like, man, whatever. There's all my inspiration procs. There we go. Boom, baby. Congratulations, you added the badge Rryatt Trail Katarn Master to your badge collection. So there's another one. I think there's a collection item hiding back here somewhere. Yeah, Wookiee Heart Lance. Let's grab that while we're here. Oh, I looted a premium power crystal from something? Maybe... I didn't even know you could loot a premium power crystal down here. Today I learned. Yeah, right? Like, I have never seen a premium power crystal drop down here in my life. Granted, I've never down here farming stuff, so... Cool, I guess. Back with Kerpok. And they say, Honored Hunter, you have bested the worst of the Rryatt Trail. Consent against you. You are a true warrior and an unparalleled hunter. All of Kashyyyk honors your accomplishments. So we get the Katarn hunting trophy. Pretty cool. And we get the Knuckles of the Katarn, which can also be deconstructed and recrafted. So if you want a more like primal unarmored weapon, that's kind of a cool looking one. But with that, I think we're formally done with the core quests of the Rryatt Trail. We'll be dipping back in and out of here for other quests on Kashyyyk, but for now, let's go back to Kachiro as we have to talk to Kymar. And we gotta return the spear. Alright, so Kymar is actually up in the cantina, but she's actually standing here also, so let's talk to her here. Vum, I was looking forward to meeting you. Zala tells me you provided a great service for us. Being able to track the Trandoshans' movements in the trail will allow us to move refugees and supplies more easily. But there's more we will ask of you if you are willing. I'm willing. That is good to hear. The occupation of Kashyyyk has never been a blessing, but what was once an endurable situation has ended with the coming of the Blackscale. When the Empire made their declaration of destruction or servitude, many of our elders and warriors immediately surrendered to their rule, and those that were left behind knew a form of peace. And the Blackscale? This territory was handed over to them when the Empire pulled back its forces. The Blackscale are killers and brutes. Their herding of my people caught us unaware at first, but their plan has backfired on them, for we resisted. As we feared, they appealed to the Empire to carry through on their threat to lay waste to our lands, but Commander Richards has denied the request. Why would the Imperial not support the Trandoshans as promised? If you believe he takes delight in seeing Trandoshans fail where the Empire had such success, personally I think he is afraid to call for aid because it would be admitting that he has lost control of this region. Commander Richard's authority ends at the borders of this village. Warden Tosk rules the clan here on Kashyyyk, and Tosk answers directly to Lord Cyssc, Patriarch of the Blackscale, back on his class. What sort of plan do you have then? I love Trandoshan names. Trandoshans are noted for their regenerative abilities. They are willing to lose an arm in battle as they know it will grow back. This makes them fierce fighters. No, if you truly want to kill a Trandoshan, you are best to remove their head. like a snake. Lord Cyssc. But you say he is far from here. That is true, and he is not known to leave his citadel. It is where you become important to our efforts. Adjutant Rosk runs Avatar platform, that cancerous station dug into an asteroid field surrounding Kashyyyk. He is currently here on Kashyyyk to meet with Tosk, but will be returning shortly to the Avatar. We want him captured, and during his return flight is our best chance. What do I need to do? There will be a squad of Blackscale fighters sweeping the flight path ahead of Rosk. A wing of our fighters will engage them. If we win, Rosk will send in his personal guard. When this happens, you can slip in and capture his transport. We will jam long-range communications, so you will be on your own out there, but more importantly, so will they. The mission sounds easy, but what of their reprisal? If it all goes well, they will believe was mining pirates. Be wary up there, Vum. The Blackscale employ mercenaries to bolster their ranks, but the House Guard are all expert pilots. Understood. Then go with honor. We will go do that in a moment. Let's go turn in the spear, though. They just need to wait. Yep. As installation goes, let's go up to, I think it was the first floor. It's for the Finding Sun quest. Yep, here's Chertuk. As a reminder, Chertuk's son was found dead and his spear stolen by Labarar, the Wookiee who we slew in the Shire canopy of the Rryatt Trail. Chertuk says, I am exhausted. I cannot find any evidence of where Chertuk is. Maybe you have better news. I am afraid that the news is not good. Oh no, you have found my son, and I am sorry, but your son is dead. How? How did this happen? He was a good hunter. I don't understand how this could happen. My poor Takuk. I think I went with Takuk. Labarar killed your son and stole your spear from him. My spear? Takuk was killed because of my spear? If it meant so much to Labarar, I would have just given it to him. I always knew that Labarar was no good. Now he will have to face my rage and pay for taking my son away from me. Takuk's final request was that the spear was retrieved and returned to you. So you tracked down and killed Labarar to recover my spear. I see. You have honored my son by completing his final request. You may be an off-worlder, but you are an honorable and noble. Thank you for returning the spear to me, but I have no further need of it. I think it would be best if you kept it. Takuk would have wanted it that way. Thank you. I'm sorry for your loss. As am I. If you will please excuse me, I need to be alone now. So here is the Kashyyyk blade stick, which unfortunately I don't think it's a very unique skin, but it can be recrafted like many of the other weapons we received. So if you do like it, you can do that. Also, it's a level 80 polearm, so you need a level 80 weapon. That's one way to get it. Not too difficult either, given Labarar's overall level. Let's go to the ground, though, and jump up into space real fast. Is there a light and dark kind of morale thing, or was that not a thing in this? No, there is not. Well, Knights of the Republic, which did have a light-dark system, came out around the same time. This game was not implemented with one. Star Wars The Old Republic, the current running Star Wars MMO, does have a morality system between light side and dark side, similar to other BioWare titles like the Mass Effect series, or the Fable, like Good and Evil system, or Fallout's Karma system. But no, there isn't like a mechanical light or good side. There are sometimes roleplay opportunities to play a more evil or good character, but I wouldn't really say there's a major reason to. Okay, so there's the Wookiee resistance. We gotta. What's good? Gotta take out the Blackscale fighters, not the Wookiees. What are these tier 3s? I'm popping them like balloons. Get out of here. Probably the biggest moral decision in the game is during the Fate of the Galaxy questline when you encounter the ghost of Obi-Wan. The very end has you make a decision that actually results in different endings and different rewards. Do I have to comp him or do I have to destroy him? Forget. Oh, destroy. It just says destroy. But he's got a Bellabub. Bellabubs actually have pretty tiny hitboxes, so they'd be kind of annoying to hit. Try not to shoot the Y-Wing. There we go. He says I could take your words after being destroyed. You might have landed a new PC? Cool. Did you find a good deal on one, or is you got a friend who will hook you up? I think I have to... Do I have to kill him or comp him? Wow, he's got a Vigo. Gotta comp him. You have a lot of nerve to attack one such as myself. How long do you think your little action will go unpunished? Well, I've already comped your vessels, so... I think it's gonna go unpunished, my man. I'm gonna take out your Bellabub escort while I wait for you to get taken over by the boarders. It's cool that they used the Bellabub here. The Bellabub chassis was introduced, I believe, with Rage of the Wookiees. It drops off NK. But, it's definitely one of the themes this update. Tier 5 Vigo is kind of dangerous, but if it had turrets, I disabled it so fast that it didn't do anything. I don't think it did. Damn, Adavad, you got this thing locked down. Oh, there it goes. Back with Chimera. Vum, I am glad you have returned. I have heard of your victory, and we are grateful for your efforts. But I have had a personal tragedy while you were gone. My son, Rryatt, travels to the Rryatt Trail transporting supplies and refugees throughout the area. Earlier today, I received word that he was captured by the slavers that inhabit the area. We learned this from the radio you recovered for us. It has already proved its worth. Is there anything I could do? Since you know of this camp already, I would ask you to go back down there and free him from me. Rryatt and his sister are the only family I have left. I will set him free. Thank you so very much. I will oversee the interrogation of the adjutant Rusk now that you have lifted this burden. Okay, we've got to go back to the Rryatt Trail all the way down to that camp again. My bed buff's got 24 minutes. We should be fine. All right, so we got to go back down to the Webweaver canopy. Here we go. This is why I'm glad I picked the level profession that actually have a movement and speed increase, like scatter and charge. Doing this with Medic or Commando, even though Commando's pretty fast by way of its constant AoEs and good resistance and cooldown, defensive cooldown with stand fast. Not having a good movement speed increase really blows. All right, so we're down here, back on the Webweaver path. We're back with our favorite Blackscale enforcers, who we had to fight through earlier to get the radio, but now we got to save Kamari's son, her son, who's been captured and brought down to this camp. We have to get to the very far back of this camp, back where we picked up that proton carbine. So we're going to do the same thing as last time to slay the NPCs blocking the direct path, and then just kind of try and shimmy around the left side a little bit. Okay, so we cleared out the ones on the left side again, so we'll just run around this way. Do a little sneaky snick. And then we see Rryatt here. You, sir, you do not look like this a lot. What would bring you down this way? I was bid to CB by your mom. Then word made it out that they would come for me. And let us be off. I cannot. I have around my neck a deadlock. If I stray far from this area, it will detonate and take my head with it. To taunt me, they wrote the code on the rock and gave it to one of their feral Wookiees that live in this region. I pleaded with him to give me the rock, but he just roared at me and ran off. But you are free. If you could get that code for me, then we can get out of here. Okay. Gotta go defeat feral Wookiees. I just want to say that this restraining chair, you know, if you just change it, if you just modify it a little bit, it could totally be like a bench, like for lifting weights. Just take the spikes off the back. Maybe like put little hooks on there. Work out a little bit. Alright, so we're going to try and be fast so I don't have to re-kill all those Blackscale enforcers again. Or hopefully we get lucky. There's a few feral Wookiees up here on the hill. Worst case scenario though, I just start attacking the whole village. Cool, got lucky. Scatter on back down. I'd definitely be using the sprint stim here if it was off cooldown, but we used it earlier when navigating the shadowed lands. So, don't quite have it back yet. You just helped the guildie with this part of the quest this morning. You enjoyed this quest line? Do you like it because it mixes in ground and space? Or just like the narrative? You're back. Yep, I have it here. Please run in a little bit further. Run in a little bit further. Yeah, there we go. These are all ranged. I wanted to move in a little bit further, that way I didn't risk AoEing the other NPCs. Thank you, friend. I can make my way from here. When you return to my mother, let her know that as well. All right, let's use our stone and get out of here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you're prepped for space, I don't mind it being mixed in. The problem is a lot of players just don't engage with the space aspect of this game at all. So when they request that has some space requirement beyond just having a ship, they go, nah, they check out. It's Guy Marley, though. You return. I hope this was good news. We're really safe and wants you to know that all is well. That is music in my ears. I am forever in your debt, Vum. While you were gone, we discovered a number of things from the Rosk. My friend Gersan Bryce, who stays in the huts below, will brief you on what our future plans are. But first, I have a gift for you. In examining Rosk's ship, we discovered the purpose of his visit. A shipment of weapons for the Avatar fleet had been delivered in the Blackscale Compound. He was receiving them personally. What type of weapon? Ion cannons, probably for their transport raiders. I'll go speak with Urson then. The Vengeance Ion Cannon. Has this even got any good stats on it? Versus shields? Eh. Alright, let's go speak with, Gerson. Welcome, Bum. It is good to have you working with us. I'll need to cut straight to business as our window of opportunity is short. I appreciate it. With the loss of the adjutant Rosk, Avatar platform has been shaken up. Resistant forces are preparing to strike the platform proper, and rival Cyssc clan is seeing this as a good opportunity to displace the Blackscale. Hopefully they will destroy each other if that conflict ever erupts. What is our first move? A wing of fighters will be dispatched from an allied clan on Tatooine to bolster the defense of the Avatar. There is also a report that Broodmaster Hiskas is on his way to oversee the Avatar platform. The Brewmaster is a fanatic and would only make our situation worse. But this was expected, and we are watching his movements closely. When he comes, we will be ready. The fighters are my top priority then. There are no top priorities, just targets of opportunity. Be prepared for a recall if Hiskas shows himself. But for now, intercept those fighters before they clear the tattoo system. I will return shortly. Stay alert and be ready. We are counting on you, Vum. All right, to Tatooine. Do I want to travel and launch, or should I just travel in Hyper? I'll just travel in Hyper. I gotta run overloads anyways. Alright, so we are going to the tattoo system to destroy the Blackscale backup that is on its way before it can get here to reinforce the Avatar platform. Alright, the Trandoshan fighters are a little bit distance away, but we'll get there. Okay, looks like we're dealing with a bunch of tier 3s here, so they should pop again. Not even bombers, my guy. Attention all fighters, Broodmaster Hiskas is approaching Kashyyyk space. Return immediately. This is the priority target. Alright, so Hiskas did show themselves, so we are getting recalled to Kashyyyk space. I'm going to travel to the Avatar platform. I don't know if that's the closest hyper point, but that makes sense, right? Watch him be like 14,000 meters away. It is sick. The storytelling actually lining up with the game mechanics for once. Bruh. The quest designer was like, this would make sense. I'm like, you're right, it would. Nova Orion questline has a cool story. Yeah, I've done it twice on my commando. I'm debating about doing it again on my officer at all. It's cool, but man, the last mission is a pain in the ass. I always have to call in my friend to help me out. Just having one wingman makes it a lot more bearable. Hey guys. Cool. I was like, wait, I have to kill him, right? I don't even have the part to, like, kill him yet. Wow, the hyper really just drops you right on top of them, huh? That's kind of funny. I guess this is all resistant fighters that we were able to raise are moving into attack. I'm like, fight's almost over, guys. These are actually tier... That's weird how it jumps from tier 3s to tier 5, though. Not the defense turrets. These are invincible, right? No? No? I think that's it. I'm gonna give it a second, but I think that's it for this section. Yeah. Insurance fraud, go. That's my greatest power in space, is insurance fraud for free tows. They should add a mechanic to where you could take insurance out on your ship. Completely break the economy. Alright, back with... You're not the one I need to talk to. Gerson, my man. Sorry. Here I am. We must act and act quickly. Sensors picked up an escape pod leaving the area. One of our fighters tried to pursue, but was cut off by the mine turrets. The escape pod appears to have been set down on the eastern edge of Etyyy. If this is his cast, we cannot let him reach any allies. Make haste to Etyyy and destroy him. I'm on my way. I only hope we are fast enough. I don't know, if our busts expire, we'll probably be fine. I think I remember where he is. Oh. Gerson came out. We have a more exact fix on his location. Deep in the eastern part of Etyyy, you will find some dense forest where the Webweavers make their home. His pod will be somewhere in that region. Be careful, the native Webweaver will not approve of your presence. Oh, okay. So this tell you. Damn, I really don't remember this one. Also, my spice wore off, so I'm puking all over my bird right now. Sorry, bird. I do want to say that marking out to get the mystical stone as early as we did was probably the best idea I've ever had when it comes to questing on Kashyyyk post that update. The amount of time we saved having to double back out of Etyyy or the Rryatt Trail alone has saved so much time. Massive XP, yeah. If I was still leveling, it'd be pretty good XP, just using the stone to get in and out. The stone quest itself, it's still hilarious that it's just like, go outside, pick up stones, come back, and they just give you 100,000 XP. And I'm like, this quest must have had to been like longer. Like the quest designer must have had a different intention. Like maybe the stones were past the Urnosaurus, but then later in development they moved it or something. Like I don't. There's got to be a story with that one. I don't know why it's so much XP. Especially since like the other main quests to get there, like I have to go get Warleys, which is basically go back to the front and click bushes. Only gives you 17k as a more appropriate level for the Awari beetles in the area. So I don't know why it does that. We're gonna see the snakes that are by the stones would murder you. Yeah, the snakes always want to murder you no matter what planet you're on. I don't know the programming, but I feel like the snakes were given an extra tier of aggression. Like some NPCs are just like when you see a red name and you see the NPCs aggressive, I think they have like different tiers of being aggressive, you know what I mean? And I think the snakes are like the highest tier because no matter what planet you're on, the snakes were just like attack you regardless. It was probably harder in the CU. I'm not going to doubt you on that one. I think a lot of things were harder in the CU. Because one of the things that players will lament about new game enhancement is that the game just overall is easier. And I think that was just... Like, when they updated the combat system, they couldn't exactly go back and hand recraft all the encounters. They just kind of did flat scaling based on, like, levels and whatever. So I think that's why a lot of the encounters feel off and there's not an appropriate challenge. Okay, I was supposed to get taunted here, and then the pod's there. And my buff's about to wear off, and I just saw... Wiki spoiled me on what I'm fighting. Uh-oh. This might be a tough fight. Kiska says, you were a fool to think you could defeat me so easily. Let us see how strong you are without your ship. Take a look at these deep woods. Their memory will have to endure you in your trip, whatever afterlife awaits. Wow. Fucking brutal, my guy. This is gonna this is gonna hurt. Yep. No med buffs. No med buffs. Just kill them before they can kill me. At least they end cap. Med buffs are a lot, okay? Is space combat alright? Help you? No problem. I should use my back to tank. Uh-oh. No critty, no critty. I'm just gonna use emergency shields, bait it out. My med buffs just wore off at a terrible time is all. I could have ticked these guys on. You just don't know when to die, do you? Well then, let me teach you what it means to face one. Oh my god. Don't death blow me, homie. Yes, Swift Heal proc. Yes, Swift Heal proc again! Thank you, GA set. I love you, GA set. I'll never doubt you. Glad I put down that rally point. Shit. Woo! That was a little spicy. Got him, though. Thank you, GA set. Alright, that is it for his cast. We gotta go back to Gerson. Let me delete these waypoints. Officer's got a lot of utility. You can definitely flex in some situations. He's got to keep in mind what it is, and even though maybe it doesn't have as much qualifications in earlier versions of the game, Star Wars Galaxies still rewards preparation. I have something for you. One of our rangers recovered this at Hiskass's escape pod, and I believe it will come into good use when pitted against the oceans. What is it? Hiskass's sword, a Sith blade to be precise, relic of the days long gone, but that is not important. And what is important? With both Rosk and Hiskass gone, Warden Tosk is sure to know something is up. Now is a chance to finish it. Lord Cyssc sits secure in his citadel, but there will be a way to rouse him. To call for aid would be a sign of weakness for Tosk. One he will not show, but Cyssc would be most pleased to answer such a call. How will this help? In the Blackscale Compound, you will find the one communications device that Lord Cyssc will believe is a legitimate source. You need to break into the camp, overcome his guard, and send a call pleading for Lord Cyssc to come and put down the insurrection personally. And he will believe this. I am counting on his pride not letting him resist. Go speak with Kimari again. She wishes to have some words with you about this operation before you go in. I will do so. Do not delay, Von. This time is not on our side. I accidentally stumbled into... So this chain of quests I've been doing, by the way, is like the main quest chain for a badge. I did it during my 12-hour stream last year for May the 4th. I forgot that this is this chain up until now. I'm going to have to go get med buffs. I don't even know if I could solo this next part. I could with my Beastmaster medic, but Beastmaster medic is like cheating, so... Kamari says, you have shown your bravery time and time again, Vum. The people of this land and all those who value freedom are behind you. I am now asking you for more. I am giving you a recorded message. It will transmit the warden's signature along with a plea for help. We must have faith that it will work. I have faith. Then go speak with Gerson. He can tell you about the camp. I will return when we are done. Return safely, my friend. You would agree with the buffs. Yeah. Here's the 200 Sith sword. It's kind of neat. It's pretty cool. Back with Gerson. The Blackscale Compound is a fortress designed to keep us out more than to keep any prisoners in. You need to know that None that have entered there have returned, so our information is sketchy at best. But we do have one important piece of information. The compound was built on top of the first forward Imperial base placed in this region. English. The communications station is there for certain. Will it be guarded? Heavily guarded. Tosk has pulled in all of his patrols. You will be facing a small army, so if you have companions, bring them. How do I get in? Approach the gate from here in Kachiro. It is on the north side, not far from Etyyy. Be watchful for Captain Bespin. He is the captain of the guard and will likely be on duty. I warn you, he is not one to be taken lightly. Once inside, you will have to make it through a heavily fortified gauntlet of Blackscale troops before you reach the compound. Be certain the path to victory goes through Warden Tosk. I am ready. Okay, so out of all of the instanced group things on Kashyyyk, I would say the Blackscale Compound is actually the hardest. NK Necrosis is probably the highest level NPC on the planet in terms of instance content on Maduro, but his fight is literally him and 2 guards. The Blackscale Compound is just enemies after enemies after enemies after enemies of Blackscale elite guards, literal minefields, and then a literal maze trying to get into the compound. Yeah, it's a good... I would say it's like a Kashyyyk version of Deathwatch Bunker, but it's instance. The downside of it is it's definitely not as rewarding as Deathwatch Bunker. You don't get any liquid drops. The reward for this questline is pretty much a sleeper, even if you are a Space Fiend. I did solo... Like I said, I soloed with my Medic. Beastmaster, though, which is probably the strongest solo class for PvE. I am going to try it with my officer. We'll see how it goes. All right, so this is the gate to the Blackscale Compound. It is up here in the north. Out of all of the group content I've done today, this would be the one I recommend least to solo, unless you are a spy. If you are, or like I said, like a level 90 medic Beastmaster that has a setup, or another Beastmaster build, this is definitely going to be the most difficult. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this alone. If we're not successful in this attempt, we'll do it next stream, and I'll have a setup where I'll be able to get through it. I'll bring in another character to help out. Let me test this guard, though, because these guards are basically the ones inside. Yeah, that's what I thought. They're all ranged. Okay, so what we're going to do... Or they won't necessarily take out a melee weapon. What we're going to do for buffs is we're going to run... Actually... Yeah, we'll still run the bowl. Oh, right, I need to call down more stems. And then we're going to run power-ups. I don't know if they have any bleeds. Do you have a bleed? I want to know if they have a bleed or a poison. He's either whiffing it or... Here, let me check the combat log. Okay, if he has a poison or bleed, he's not getting it off. Yeah, I don't think they do either. Because I was wondering if I should take a specific food or not. Okay, so we got that. We're definitely going to be using Breath of Heaven for this, but I need to put more Acragam on my bar anyways while I'm thinking about it. Well, let's keep moving up the left side here, defeating the guards as we go. I have... Luckily, since I did this instance a little, like about 7 months ago, I remember it. So I have a plan for soloing it. That plan doesn't involve a bunch of Blackscale guards dumped in front of the door, though. Getting in might be harder than doing the instance. Let me put my Drill Master macro here. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. Once we get in, I'll start explaining my plan, but I don't want to explain it yet. I switch off Acragam for Breath of Heaven. So our HP's 21,000, almost 22,000. I'm gonna try and blitz around those guys. I don't want to have to fight them all. I don't know why they're all just queued there, but... Okay, let's just... Hi, bye. Careful, yeah, right. Uh-oh, I can't really AoE with this guy here. I want to run back down the stairs and I don't want to AoE. I guess we're just dueling this guy. He said, you wish to call out the captain of the guard? Then I will answer your call, perhaps yourselves. Yes, he'd be dead if I had my AoEs, by the way. He's not that hard. I just can't AoE. Or I'm gonna pull 6+ guards? Question mark? Okay, we're good. Woo! I forgot that guy came out. Real talk, I forgot. I remember in here, though. Wait, why'd it kick me out? Excuse me? Oh no, this is what was happening with the Rryatt 2 Arena Challenge. Okay, that worked. Alright, we're now actually inside. So, first, I have to navigate through a field of Blackscales and their pet Commerce. They are all like level 80 up elites. However, you can kind of skirt by some of them like this, so the goal's going to be trying to avoid as many as possible. Also, you see there's a bunch of mines on the ground, and when they aggro me like that, I'm just going to fucking run. I can probably take them on group by group without take too long. I got shit to do, guys. Luckily, I'm fast as fuck, boy. Yeah, I was gonna run through there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be fine. Oh, yeah. I forgot. If you are a spy in here, there are traps that will decloak you like that loud-ass flashbang. So if you get suddenly decloaked, that's why. Goals is move as fast as possible. When I'm near danger. I'm gonna try and avoid these guys. The mines don't hurt that bad. You can see what it does to my health here. I don't even know if you can disable them if you have the disable mine ability that some professions get. You might. If you're in here and you want to try it out, go for it. The two characters I brought in here, though, Officer and Medic, don't. There is a legendary Camarith here. Can I get under this? Nope, but I can get over it. Sayonara! Yeah, this area is cool, but obviously they don't really funnel you in. But that's fine, because this is just a meat grinder, as you can tell, of eliminating NPCs. I would love to see, like, a fully, like, geared group of level 90s come in here. Just to see what it does. Wow, thanks for subscribing, mate. I appreciate the support. Hope you're having a great day. Can I walk around this? Yeah, I can. Haha, your walls serve me more than they serve you. Dumbasses. Anti-vehicular mine for the vehicles that I can't summon in here. I don't think you can call mounts in here. Yeah, I know. Can't even call creature mounts. Damn, they really shoved a lot of Trandoshans in here. It always marvels me how many are in here. Okay, we want to stick to the left because that's where the compound is. If we get aggroed here, we got scatter ready, and we'll just blitz like last time. Apparently my bloodthirsty aura is currently radiating from my Bothan, and they don't want to have anything to do with her. She's already covered in the blood and guts of multiple Blackscales, so they're probably like, you know what? Maybe we just pretend we didn't see that one. So here's the main compound, and you can tell we kind of gotta go into these gates and around. I also have my sprint enhancement stem ready. So if we just need a blitz, we can. I think I might take out some of these patrolling guards, though. Because with all the walls around here, line of sight's going to get tricky if I get a lot of enemies on me. And I don't really want to run into the base with a billion dudes aggressed to me. This is a really cool area. Too bad it's, like, not interesting quest-wise. Because even if I had a group, we'd probably just be doing what I'm doing now, just ignoring everything. Alright, so I think the fastest path is to go north. Because you can, so the gate arches are these like 2 dots in the overhead map. That's why I have this map up. So this is the gate to get into the next area, which unfortunately is filled with Trandoshans, so we're just going to have to blitz through there and hope they don't all aggro. I'm going to attack this guy for safety reasons in case I need to back off and run out of here quickly to drop threat. There's not a lot in the bunker? Question mark? I don't remember. I remember getting into the bunker took longer than the bunker itself. Come over. I want to get rid of... Okay, cool. I pulled 2. That's actually good. If they can get around the wall. I pulled 3. There we go. So I could bring up my droid to help with combat here, but my droid I think would be more of a liability than it would be a help in this situation, which is why I have not summoned it yet. Okay, I'm going to switch off that guy. Oh yeah, should have Pistol Drill Master macro going. Okay, we're going to take out this guy. I'm being really careful here because Star Wars Galaxies line of sights around a lot of walls and vertical structures is more trouble than it's worth, so I just want to play it safe here. Okay, let's wait for our resources to come back. I think I want to be really safe. Let's tag him. Lovely weather out today. It's -4 degrees Fahrenheit. The northern thanks that you converting that to Fahrenheit for the American that I am. Come on. I know you can path to me, dude. See what I mean about walls? I feel like that. Oh yeah, wind chills sucks. Come on. I know you can get through that wall. I seen it. Maybe aggroing this guy was a mistake. Maybe I should have just ran. All right. Well, with that, we've got to run through this covered area, and then hang right. I used scatter there preemptively because I wanted to reduce chances of getting aggroed, which we were able to do. So we'll go in here. We have to defeat Warden Tosk now. I can't really avoid all these guys, I think, so I'm just gonna... Come on, baby. Bring on your scaly asses. Did my droid instantly die and pack up? Or is it stuck somewhere? Some of these guys had a brain fart. That's only to my benefit. I can do that lately on Twitch. A lot of Americans actually know what you mean when you use C, but it's easier just converting it. Yeah, like I know what Celsius is. It's just sometimes I don't have a terrible approximate of it. Probably be easier if I majored in a STEM field where you end up using metric system measurements more often, but I didn't major in STEM. STEM standing for Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics. Kaz is waving as she majored in a STEM field. Come on. You know, these guys, how much health do you guys have? 30k? No wonder I'm eating you alive. I have a very appropriate music playing right now. I have the Fighting Gold theme from Vento Aura that came on. Feels very fitting, running in. I'm not using AoEs here because I'm a little worried about them hitting some of these guys. I think Warden Tosk is to the left. Sick. Great, because I do not want to have to go in that right room, but I think I might. Let me move you over this way, my guys. Glad these guys actually have melee weapons. Or at least some of them do. For safety, I'm going to take out these Blackscale. Get guards over here, just in case I end up biting off more than I can chew. Yeah, I think my droid aggroed on the Blackscale immediately and just died, so not much help. I feel spoiled playing Medic Beastmaster for so long. Having NPC companions I could rely on. Alright, so you got... You guys think I could pull that guy? This is going to be really bad, or it's going to be fine. I got away with 2. That's amazing. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get it. I was like kind of hoping that I'd at most just pull that one in the back, or maybe just the supporting ads and not the boss. But instead of having to fight 4 Blackscale guards and this boss, which he kind of hurts, not gonna lie, I got away with only having to fight the one that I pulled in this guy. Sick. Power room, I think that's this room, unfortunately. No? What's it say? Forget, what do we do next? You'll find a communication center. Get in there, access call. Is it this door? Oh, wait, no, it said lock disabled. Yeah, no, it's the room full of Blackscale. This is going to be awkward. Beam is love, beam is life, sure is. You need a pet in all MMOs you play. No pet, no gaming. Lies, you play SWTOR. That game has no pets. Oh, no meaningful pets. Oh, these are Wookiee Blackscale Berserkers. These guys are actually higher level, but they're all melee, it looks like, so they're going to walk right into my knife storm here. You can play SWTOR any longer. True. But since they're all melee, it's actually really easy for me to just kind of drag them away. Why does my Pistol Drill Master have a buff cooldown on it? That's weird. Sorry for all the Wookiee slaughter, by the way, everybody. But they're compliant with the slavers, so okay. Let me drag these guys over here. Just keep getting them in groups. Should hit paint target on this guy first, but it doesn't matter. Four left. I could probably take all 4 on, but why risk it? You do everything you want to do in SWTOR, though. You have all classes level, complete every quest, every raid. Not the hardest difficulty, but still. That's okay. Completing the hardest difficulty is mostly for, you know, flexing. This is not really... They don't really... Outside of drops off of the bosses, they've never been really good about rewarding people for doing the higher level difficulties other than, oh, here's better gear, I guess. But then all you use the better gear for is the higher difficulty raids. And as soon as a new expansion comes out, your gear is useless. So it doesn't feel very rewarding. All right, so now we deactivate the lock. So that first terminal, we use Tosk's clearance to deactivate the lock to this room. Then that terminal deactivates the lock to the computer room towards the front of the bunker that I was trying to walk into earlier. So let's go back to there, interface with that. Our Lord would not have thought to hear such a thing from you, Tosk, but your request is granted. Lord Cyssc will make his way to Kashyyyk without delay. So we gotta return to Gerson. Yes, the stone works in here! I don't even have to run all the way back! Dude, we did it! We soloed the Blackscale Compound as a melee officer by ourselves that dumped Con. Amazing. I'm gonna be real with you all right now. I made that shit look easy. There's a bit of luck there when it came to Tosk, but yeah. I wouldn't recommend trying that solo again unless you got some experience and you got a certain build going on. That is a more challenging instance to solo for a newer player, or especially if you don't have like your 5-piece yet and all your 35s worked out. Definitely get like a friend for that. I think that's why you don't play WoW anymore either. You did what you wanted to now. It's just Mount Transmog, right? Yeah, I'm playing SWTOR again with Griffin because we want to play it again and do all the expansion stuff. But if it wasn't for Griffin, I might have not been motivated to pick it up again. I know. I didn't think about the stone until like I was like, wait, do I have to run out of here? I'm like, wait, the stone's been updated. Can I stone out of there? Yeah. You've returned. This is wondrous. Go speak with Gerson quickly. Oh yeah, I forgot. Interesting that she's updated though to have dialogue. That's cool. We haven't had a moment to lose. Lord Cyssc is already on the move, and our forces have been sent to intercept. I have a trophy for you though. Captain Bespin won't need this staff anymore. I'll be off right away. Second will be flying in shortly. Get up there and prepare your welcome. Be at your best, Fum. Your target is a modified heavy cruiser. You'll definitely have a scale guard present. Yo, sick Gurk. Being a Beastmaster. So here's the Kamino and great staff we get. I don't even think this is a unique weapon skin. And weirdly, this is a level 56 weapon by default. Which clearly, I don't think any level 56 is getting this done unless they get dragged through it. So weird. Maybe definitely some CU jank going on there, but space time, baby. Let's take him out. Gerson says, wait, this is not right. That is Commander Krask. Watch your position. This is a trap. It's a trap. Had to do it. An ally craft, an ally craft, an ally craft. Wow. Hey, you know what? They do a good job making this feel like a trap. All my ally craft are actually getting deleted. Well. Wow, I failed immediately. But I guess that's intended because it is updated. A larger force is moving in. We have no fighters to commit. You are our last hope. Obi-Wan. Oh yeah. Here we go. What's good, motherfuckers? Get him. See if we can't peel a few of these guys off. So I'm trying to pull away some of the fighters. And, from the main craft there, so we don't have to deal with as much gunfire. You love it? Yeah, that is a nice trick. They don't do the planned failure a lot, so when that does come out, it does kind of get you for a second, huh? And you're like, wait, what? I had no chance. It does make it feel like you're fighting overwhelming odds, and then seeing the rest of the ships jump in, you're like, shit, that's a lot. Raid for years, stop being fun. It was a social help for you. That's fair. When your friends stop raiding, it kind of dies off. I mean, that's what happened with me and Old Republic. Let's take out these lighter ships first. Or try to. Holy shit, there's so many turrets. Between the POBs, the ARC 170s was a nice touch. You don't see ARC 170s as enemies a lot. Them pushing those new chassis. Oh, chaffing that. I don't know where that came from. So I'm just gonna keep jousting these guys and like get their numbers down a little bit here. As you can see, my shields can take it, but I can't take sustained fire forever. Oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on the POBs. Shout out to that Trandoshan. I am bored with this. Steal your engines and die. Mood. HCA1A medium cruiser. You don't see that get used a lot. Glamour's the real end game. Appearance and bragging rights is the real end game for any of them. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. I think I could face tank a little bit here. Okay, not a ton though. We out of here. We gone. I would definitely call this one of the hardest space missions because I mean I'm an ace pilot and this is the ship I use for one of the 2 ships I use for convoys. So this is no it's nothing to scoff at here. It'd probably be smarter of me to like disable like engines or reactors or something, but they're not chunky to the point where I'm too worried about it. Like this isn't like a tier 6 convoy or anything. They just have so much firepower between all the POBs. All right, there's one. It's gonna get easier. It's kind of weird seeing the Warlord Heavy Cruiser actually doing anything other than floating in one spot. I'm so used to seeing it from, like, you know, the duty missions where it just spawns and then sits there and lets you just kill it. Basically. It basically rolls over and dies for you. No, show me your bellies, not your tops. There's more guns up there. I'm getting a little cocky here, but that's alright. Alright, let me split off. This is starting to hurt now. I'm running out of gun juice anyways. Alright, looks like these guys are panicking here. They're showing me the bellies. They're like, alright, you got us, guy. Just put us out of our misery. It'd be cool to do this mission with like another player as a wingman. Or even just like load up a YT and just go ham. Just like for the novelty of it. Yeah, I mean with POB turrets you'd eat these things up, but it'd be funny at least. Okay, let's get this thing to stop moving. Chrome just locks up completely. Maybe I need to stop using Chrome. Maybe that's the trick. Alright, but there we go. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, it's a good mission. The fake out with the mission failure is really good. The amount of ships they spawn in for, like, if you're an ace pilot is definitely a challenge, obviously. I couldn't just run headfirst into all those ships and not explode. What else? Honestly, the writing for this story is not bad. Like, plot-wise. There's a good introduction by, you just, like, it goes from just mindlessly helping out some tourists get, like, the trophy they were looking for, and it escalates for you being, like, somebody fighting against slavers encroaching on Kashyyyk. And the ground content seems aptly challenging for endgame instead of space. My only critique is that the rewards aren't very good. The two-handed sword, I think, is a unique or at least uncommon weapon skin? Question mark. But the space rewards you get aren't great, and then the Kaminoan staff, I think that's just a normal metal staff, and it's weirdly scaled to 56 for some reason. We go back to Gerson, talk to him. He says, "The Force be praised. Lord Cyssc is dead. You have won a grand victory for the Alliance here in Kashyyyk and for freedom everywhere. If you have not done so, Kimahri would have, or if you have not done so, Kimahri would have a word with you. I will see her at once. Please do, friend." It's repeatable. Yeah, I know some of these space missions are repeatable. So I guess if I really did want to try the POB thing on that, I could. "I knew that my faith in you was well placed. You have done a service for not just my people, but an entire world yearning to be free of such dark forces. I present to you this medal as a symbol of your bravery and determination in the struggles we have faced together. It was an honor." And we get the Rage of the Wookiees badge and the badge collector 50 badges. So we go into collections and go under badges. Go down here. You have this section called Kashyyyk content. And we, let's see, that's our Etyyy hunting badge from earlier, Kataran badge, Kirkwort badge. Here's the Rage of the Wookiees badge, which is defeating Lord Cyssc. There's the Kiritami Blood Hunter that we got from doing the Kiritama quest. And the Arena Champion. So you see we have a few things to do still. Specifically the Majorel Caverns with NK Necrosis. And we still have to do the Civilian Pilots Guild up in Kashyyyk space, which will definitely be something we do later. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get around to completing the Majorel Caverns, but we'll get to that next time. Here's the medal, if anyone's curious. Interestingly, it doesn't buy a link, unlike the Rhodian one, so you could sell your war medals if you wanted to. But yeah, as again, we didn't get to Majorel today, but we finished Etyyy. We did the Hracca Glade. We did all of the Rryatt, including the main Rage of the Wookiees quest to defeat Lord Cyssc. So that was pretty cool. So next time we'll look into finishing the Majorel Caverns and doing the Avatar platform pre-quest. And if we have time, we'll do the Civilian Protections Guild, which is a space quest line. If not, then we'll probably do that the next time. I'm trying to basically do all the Kashyyyk stuff before we move on to other content. But thanks for everyone who came out today to the stream. And thanks for everyone who's been supporting and watching on YouTube. The first episode has gotten over 1,000 views, the Chansari Point Station one. So again, appreciate your support, but I'll see you on the next one.